What is going on? What's happening? Grand Rising Queens. I know y'all love that. Hang on. What is going on to the fellas out there? I'm out. I was up late. I was up till 6 a.m., man. I got behind on some homework. I was procrastinating, so I had to get that caught up. You guys let me know if the audio is good. Let's talk about it today. Hey, this is nothing personal, right? If I just don't like you, I just don't like you. Okay? And the people that like to throw jabs at me, you want to know who this is for. You know what I'm saying? Like to throw them like jabs and be petty. Hey, if this is going to be some check-in. Sometimes it's married folks. Sometimes it's overly religious, faceless channels. But again, you probably know because, you people, you can't help but watch my channel. And I told y'all before, get this branch out the way. And I told y'all before, faceless channels are the most bold channels out there. They don't have to worry about anything. They ain't got to worry about anyone calling them out on how they look, how they act, because when you're a faceless channel for too long, unless you're a really old guy, you know what I'm saying? If you're a faceless channel for too long, you get too comfortable with it. And I don't like people getting in their comfort zones because those same people, they like to talk about people too much. When you allow people to get away with not being called out for their actions and their lack of accountability and being a man, they tend to get really bold. They tend to start, judging other people, which they're really just projecting their insecurities through other people that they've observed. But I have to put this out here really quick because, for one, I'm bored on my walk and I want a little bit of entertainment. Two, I want to stir the pot a little bit because I got to let y'all know, a lot of you faceless channels and you goofy Negroes online, I don't like you. I don't like you just as much as you don't like me. The difference is I'm not a coward. So I'll say it with my chest and I'll, say it with the camera on. And two, I don't really study y'all. When I study women, but when I run across your channel and you say one, because dudes are, in a way, dudes are dumber than women, right? Or maybe dudes are just more ignorant. They want you to know they have a problem with you and they don't want to let anything go. So I have no problem with being just as petty. But because this needs to be said, and on TikTok and on Facebook and on Instagram. So my issue is, if you're a man online trying to sound like the next Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or trying to sound like a revolutionary, very philosophical, whatever the case may be, man, you got to show your face, bro. That you have to show your face. Now, I'm not bashing everybody. I've told you, intellectuals that keep it for the most part neutral unless people come after them. I don't really have a problem with them. You know what I'm saying? And all dudes online take a couple light jabs and spar a little bit. That is kind of the nature of the game. If they think that your ideology, especially the intellectuals or the guys that think they're intellectual, if they know that they got to respect your ideology, they'll just take jabs at the way you think, because otherwise they wouldn't care what you thought and how you move. They wouldn't care. It wouldn't mean nothing to them, but something about what you say and how you move triggers them, and it makes them feel like they have to respond. Just like I said, I'm not taking no strays this year. I'm not letting any of you content creators, when I put out a list of names of people that I say is all right or that I watch or whatever, that don't mean I agree with everything you say, goofy nigga. That don't mean that I watch every one of your videos, right? This goes for the women too. If I list your name online, it doesn't mean I'm watching your content every day, And it doesn't mean that start getting on here as faceless channels that never show your face, and you start talking big, bold, and bad and dropping little innuendos and little extra stuff, man, you're an easy target to me. You're an easy target. No one's going to really care what I say or really go against what I'm saying because you're a coward that doesn't show your face on camera, right? You're a coward that must sit back and watch a lot of content, and you don't want to be held accountable for your words, so you just go faceless. And I want to also let you guys know, you people that are friends with these faceless people, content creators, you know what I mean? Or keyboard warriors, or if you got let's say you got a friend, a so-called friend, it's really a secret enemy. But this is either an online friend or a coworker at your physical job, but you don't really interact with them that much. And when you do see them, right, you try to be nice to them, but they take little snarky shade jabs at you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. People that are supposed to be your friends taking little snarky jabs. Okay, this would be a prime example, right? I watch a lot of content. I like to see if a hater wants to like disguise his issues with me, because what they'll do is they'll try to disguise their issue with you behind criticism. You know what I mean? Or advice. This is the way you do X, Y, and Z. This is how you get it done. You people that don't show your face on camera, there's very few of you that are okay. But understand something. When you go live, right? Because a lot of you you're not made for it. When you go live, you seem nervous. You seem fidgety. You don't have the same confidence you have when you're speaking faceless. What's the word of the day? Black on black on black, black on black on black, black, black. You know what I'm saying? That's the word of the day, my brother. That is the word of the day. Hold up. No wonder I don't have anybody in here. They got me. Hey, LeBron, I'm gonna get out of here because I didn't even look at it, because I don't normally go faceless like a coward. I'm gonna come right back, right? So don't go nowhere. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here because this is not the setup I wanted, and that's why I'm not, in the shorts feed or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I can see who's in here today. It's only 2. I would probably have like 35, 40 people in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, which is good. I'm gonna make a YouTube short out of it and chop it up and put it on the pre-recorded side. But then I'm gonna, log right back in with this same title, and we're gonna go ahead and talk the whole time on this walk, because the issue with this is, as men, we have to start being a little bit more critical about who we get advice from. You know what I'm saying? We have to. And these dudes online, man, they get intimidated, and they end up having issues with you. And not just, dudes online. This applies. This is my job, right? This is my career. So these are the only kind of people I deal with, and the only kind of people I observe. So this could be anybody, brother, family member, but definitely like this is how dudes move, right? See, a lot of these dudes, man, you yourself, LeBron, you went and found yourself a wife. They don't want to hear stuff like that. They don't want to hear stuff like that. According to them, there ain't no good women out here whatsoever at all. You know what I mean? So what'll happen is, let's say you got some coworkers, you got your fiance, y'all about to get married September 27th. You letting everybody know this, and then Negroes start coming up. Like they don't talk about your marriage directly, but Negroes around you start talking about how treacherous these women are, and how, the right way to go about getting a woman would be X, Y, and Z. If you know what I mean? Like, but they'll say it in ear range, you know what I mean? So that they can get to you, so you can hear it, right? Like stuff that don't even matter, goofy stuff that nobody really be thinking about, but they just start talking about how, man, as far as marriage in the US, I would have probably looked over X, Y, and Z stats from this, uh, syndicated woo, or, this peer study from, this university and da 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 da. And you're like, is this directed to me? They won't say your name, but it's all about newly married, newly engaged, right? So you're just like, what you're doing is you're not getting triggered by it. You're noticing, and this is a black man type of thing, not saying anything about any other race because I don't really know and be around them other races that much. So I gotta speak on this. And you're just like, man, so what's happening is you have Negroes out here that are paying too close attention to the things you're doing, and they always have something to say. You know what I'm saying? What's my position with it? Divine. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I'm glad that my channel is full of real ones, because it's easy to get online and say a bunch of stuff that sounds nice. But how are you a representation of living God in this realm by hiding your face? Or Allah, how are you a representation of this in this realm when you're hiding your face? When you have bold words, but you don't want to show your face. Like you're some type of diplomat or, you know what I'm saying? Foreign national or politician or something. You're nothing of the sort. You're nobody like everybody else. What it is you're cowardly. And you can always tell these guys, see, I tell you guys to tread light. And sometimes when I name dudes or women, and I say, oh, they all right, or I listen to them, me saying I listen to you doesn't mean I like you. It doesn't mean that I agree with you. I said I listen to you. If I say that you're an intellectual, it doesn't mean that I like you. It doesn't mean that I agree with you. I just believe you think you're smart, right? So I give you y'all's credit where your credit is due to make you feel okay, kind of see if you're going to back off or double down. Because if you're a shark, you're going to smell blood in the water and you're going to, oh, he's weak enough. Let me go ahead and start talking some more junk. If you're smart, you'll back off, go about your way, start talking about other stuff, right? And I name names for a reason. I don't have to at you in my title. I'm just going to say your name in my video. No adding needed, right? My face is shown. Like if my video, listen, let me tell you something else. I don't at people, and you shouldn't at people either. If you're adding someone, you're chasing clout. You're chasing clout. You're attaching your name to them directly, and then you're making a review video or whatever. Okay? You're chasing clout. Why are you atting the person? What I do is, it's not that serious. The people don't even know who you are. What I do is I speak on people that I react to people that I think have seen my content. There's no need to add them because these are the people I speculate that are watching my content and probably not doing their due diligence by hitting the like button and sharing and whatnot. So when I name you off, let me turn around, man. Be freaking these neighbors out. When I name your name off, you know what that means. It ain't even like I get on here and tell you, because you probably listen to me enough to know that, you're on my list. If I name your name in any kind of capacity, you're on my list. You're either good on my list or you're not. Either way it goes, I believe that you watch my content. I don't care what you say. None of you idiots was trained by the U.S. government at the levels of the White House. So you can try to think that you have it covered. No. Anyone I mention has said something out of their mouth that it was something I said first. Whether it was my ad libs or my actual information, the words and exactly how I say them, you said it the exact same way. Oh, David, everybody's no. David gets online and speaks a certain kind of way. David likes to leave his trademark, his signature type of speaking. So when he hears his words on somebody else's mouth, that's why you have to work on yourself and be as authentic as possible. The more authentic you are, the easier it is to identify who's watching you and who is not. Now, I know a lot of you like, this guy's obsessed with knowing who's watching him. Why wouldn't you be? And this is your business. My business is views, building up my soul tribe and getting rid of any kind of hater that thinks they can affect my growth. If I don't get on here and call out content creators that are literally watching my channel religiously, they're not hitting the like button, they're not shouting me out, no type of capacity, but they're feeding off my words like a newborn baby bird that I'm regurgitating worms into their fucking mouth. That's how they act. But they don't want to acknowledge my wisdom, be it because they're older than me or the same age as me or around the same age as me. And they don't want to acknowledge the fact that someone has more wisdom than they do because they have way more life experience than you cowards. I actually joined the military, deployed to Iraq a couple times. When you're in Iraq, you got to deal with politics and things of that nature. You don't want to get a bullet in your back from these Iraqis. You got to know how to move right, talk right. And then you guys, you act like you think you're better than what you are. You think you're more cultured than you are, better spoke. You people, it sounds nice in theory, but the realness of it is you won't show your face on camera. You're a grown man and you will not show your face on camera. You know what I'm saying? That don't make any sense. Here we go. See, LeBron in here talking that real nigga shit. You know what I mean? They want the talking points. They don't like me whatsoever, but they know that I'm someone. See, what happens is they go viral if they bring something new. See, it works like any other job, you guys. And that's why you see these content creators stressing, getting up and regurgitating something that some other content creator put out 2 hours earlier. It's about putting out the newest content, you know, riding that wave, and they'll regurgitate what other bigger content creators have put out a day prior or hours prior so they can ride that content creator's algorithm and wave. You know what I'm saying? And the newer content and when you put out stuff that no one else is speaking in the way of and you have a decent sized following, you'll go viral. And also people will think that you're the one that came up with those words. And a lot of content creators are out here trying to be the first to do something. I was the first to say this. I was the first to say that. I was the first to predict this. I was the first to predict that. You know, so their egos are wild. They want to come off mystical and like a seer, and they want to also come off like a fitness expert. They want to also come off like they're philosophical and some great teacher or college professor or whatever in some far land, you know, teaching those people how to be better versions of themselves than they already are, right? You know, these people, they move like this. You know what I'm saying? And I just, when I get online and I start seeing, I told you this year, I'm taking no strays. When I put on a video of you goofies, it's normally while I'm working out, so I have plenty of time to let it rock. I'm not wasting no time at all. Once I hear you running your mouth, taking little shots, because you're not gonna say my name. You'll tell your content creator buddies you're not saying my name because you don't like me, you don't want to give me free clout. Every time you regurgitate words that other me to find information, when you regurgitate this shit before they do, they know you're watching me too. See, you guys got to watch out, man. You got to watch out. And I get it, right? Most of y'all are really dumb. And some of you have been online too long and you're burnt out and you don't have any ideas. You don't know how to get offline. You don't know how to take yourself out of your comfort zone so God can bless you with some new information so you can add it to the lexicon. And shout out to some of y'all out there are adding new things to the lexicon. Some of y'all are making attempts to come up with your own verbiage and terminology type of stuff. I noticed that. Shout out to y'all. You know, not saying that you're where you're supposed to be at yet, but these people like Dr. Thunder and stuff like him, he's out here trying, you know, to put out a few things of his own. You know, and again, if you're inspired by me and you start taking my ad libs and things like that, but then you start developing your own off of it and understanding what I mean by being authentic and also being creative, and then you start talking like I'm the first to say this, and you heard it here first, and I look at you and listen to what you're saying. I know I ain't heard it before. I'm going to support you. Just like I called out Dr. Thunder just now. When I hear someone bringing something new, like the live stream I just heard from him, it was something new he said. I can't remember what it was, but I never heard it before. Something he came up with on his own. That needs to be supported because all this regurgitation stuff, it causes for a lot of infighting because you think you're taking something from someone and they won't notice you, you know, or you think that maybe that, you know, you're taking something and they're not watching your content. Well, the algorithm put you in, you know what I'm saying, put me in your algorithm. They also put you in mine. I'm an engineer. I want y'all to understand that. If I'm popping up in your algorithm, you're popping up in mine. Okay? See, when you're not an engineer and you don't build algorithms, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm a content creator. I'm an actual engineer that builds algorithms. So when I see certain things I know how you got in my feed. I know how you got in my feed. And it ain't due to us being in the same niche. No, you're watching my shit. And then when I see a lot of, see, I'm an observer, but I do it the right kind of way. I only do it when it's something that affects me. So when I see all these content creators in this niche I'm in, and I think they're all separate, but then I start seeing all of them in each other's live streams. And they want the other people to know. They want the live streamer to know they're in their live streams. They check in and all this. I'm like, oh, so you niggas pop up and everybody's in this niche's live streams. You just only speak to the people you like, the people that you want to get put on, the people that you feel like deserve it due to them doing this longer, you knowing them. But then you keep coming over here, you and them, and stealing my talking points, just like LeBron said. Stealing talking points because you're brain dead and you're stupid and you want to come off a certain way online, smart. Or maybe you need to make a hidden enemy. So I'm just the kind of guy that gets online. I'm not you idiots faking that I'm humble. Most of you people have a bigger ego than me. You're faking that you're humble. You're faking you have humility. You don't have any. Due to the fact I know, because I hear some of you people regurgitating my words and taking shots at me, but you never mention my channel. You never mention any channel similar to mine, any truth teller that's not scared to say what's up. I've been calling out you content. I'm calling out you content creators like Greg Doucette, right? And Greg, I'm just like you, brother. Maybe I have some issue or disability when it comes to remembering names. So if I butchered your last name, hey, I might just be like you, Greg. I might have some kind of disability where I can't remember names right. You know what I'm saying? I never looked into nothing like that. Maybe I had that. So for you guys that I butcher your names, maybe I'm like Greg Doucette, the former bodybuilder that's on YouTube now, giving out great coaching advice. Maybe I have a disability where I can't remember names right. So when y'all get mad that I butcher your names, maybe I don't have it in me to remember them right. Maybe I'm just like Greg, a genius that doesn't have it in me to remember names right. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that whenever y'all, this guy don't never get my name right. He's retarded. Da, 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 da. I'm so retarded, but you keep coming over here and getting information from me, stealing talking points from me, wanting to regurgitate it to your group of content creator friends in the same niche so you can seem like you know what you're talking about, or hell, just using my concepts, period, when I talk about the way that society is molding women. And you guys can sit there and say, well, people have been talking about, I know you like to go and fish up an old Kevin Samuels clip or something that's similar to what I say, so you can make it seem like, that old video some kind of way stuck out to you or popped up in your feed, and that's what triggered this great topic you're talking about, not the fact that I went live and said the same thing the day before, right? They're swagger jackers, definitely for the older groups. For the younger Gen Zers, I know that they copied me to a certain extent, but the Gen Zers have their own little flow about things. They do have their own way of making content. It's mostly TikTok looking, right? It's normally the green screen in the background. And so even if the young buck does take what I say, they mix their own little, new young bucks. It's always the guys like my age or older, right? They're like about my age in their mid to late 30s and older. And for you black men out there, if you don't know, man, look, I'm gonna just be real with you, man. There's a lot of generational curses still going on amongst black people and black men. Most black dudes, if you got any emotion and women pay you attention, hell, if you're engaged, they're going to be jealous of you. I'm just gonna be real. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. They're gonna be jealous of you, right? They're gonna find a reason to be jealous of you. It's just that nigga spirit in them that hasn't been broken yet. Like they ain't really, awakened like they claim they have. And if you a guy with your emotion, you don't kiss really no ass. You call things out for what they are, because you ain't nobody gonna whoop your ass, right? You just like, being ostracized means nothing to you because you don't want to play the politics. You don't want to play. You do want people that steal your ideas to give back in some type of way, whether that's sharing or what. But you don't give a crap either way it goes about like networking with losers who are emotional and egotistical, and they think they can decide, especially Negroes. See, this is why the black community, I need to have another conversation about this. That black community thing is another way for Negroes to check you and to be able to steal from you and then be like, well, I'm your brother. Like, we supposed to share information, and no, you're stealing. You don't give credit where credit is due. You don't give credit where, see, I'm not, you guys, y'all watch my content and you're just like, oh, this guy's putting up stuff. I'm very innovative, y'all. These content creators know that shit. I'm very innovative. The way that I make thumbnails, the way that I, chop up my live streams, the way that I come up with different ways to repost my content, the apps I use to repost my content, because I'll be real and I'm not going to sit here and say that, it's not something that was going to go viral anyway. But there was really nobody using Opus Clips until like I got on here and started talking about it. And so I had to learn how to keep things to myself, which is going to bother content creators too, because I used to come on here and give a bunch of free game, right? And they go back and regurgitate it. And this is when I am on that whole, I'm looking for real people. I watch only content unless I'm needing something to motivate me, where people are being authentic and original. Authentic and original. Throwing shade at people that you don't really like for no good reason, it never made any sense to me. And being a faceless channel, like, you guys, man, y'all gotta know your place, man. I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna be real, man. You have to know your place. And I'm gonna tell you something. Most of the time out here, it's gonna be Negroes that want to steal your content, steal your intellectual property, steal from you in general, even if you work in a regular job. And there'll be the same Negroes talking about community, how we need to come together, how we're no longer together no more, how we don't move like we supposed to. It'd be the same people, man. It'd be the same people projecting what they're doing to other people, right? It's nonsensical and it's so idiotic that like I said, I got to the point where I couldn't watch, you know what I'm saying, these people no more. I can't really watch most content creators that are in my niche. I just see how they take shots. I don't really like take petty shots. Well, I take petty shots, but you know who I'm talking about. I say their names. I give you more. These people like to speak in these real innuendo-y ways, and I don't like cowards, man. Like, I just don't like cowards. I don't like, you think that you're not coming across like a coward or you're hiding your cowardism. No, you're not. Bro, I am an Army veteran. You're trying to find little slick ways, take jabs at an Army veteran who's about that life. I'm literally about that life. I went to war twice. When y'all get online and you start whining about the way to handle disagreements with people and the way not to, how would you know how not to do it if you're doing it your way and your way is the right way? The only way you would know how not to do it is to be observing someone that's doing it in a way that you don't think is right. Y'all get on here and what you really do is you project on the people how you feel about others doing things differently than you are, because you think the way that you do things is the only right kind of way. And the way that you got to where you're at, you thought it was the only way to get there. And when you see someone like me that moves different, I don't kiss no ass. I ain't gonna be calling out or not calling out, but shouting out or in my live streams, kissing ass of other content creators so they think I like them and da-da-da-da. I will mention you and I will say a few things about you. He aight, or I listen to him, he seems intellectual. I never say like, oh, these dudes are my favorite and I watch them religiously. Those words don't come out of my mouth. So if you want to be able to feel like, oh, this guy's watching me daily and this guy's getting, I'm not, man. I'm really not. And I'm very selective about my words because I've seen content creators who know that other people have subscribed to them throw that in people's faces when those guys take off. And they be like, this guy subscribed to me years ago. This guy, man, don't do that to yourself ever with me. If you're one of those content creators, because I see Saint in the Center does a lot, like he'll bring up something like, this guy subscribed to me. Bro, I'm telling y'all, that's a bad idea. Okay? Someone subscribing to you don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. You know, a lot of times I subscribe to support, but nowadays I like subscribe because I'm investigating you, right? Like I'll subscribe because, oh, you just said something that seemed like you kind of talking too much. You know, just like women talk too much and they tell you what they're really thinking. These emotional single mother raised content creators talk too much. And if you listen to the words they use, the words they choose to use, they give themselves up every time. They're trying to be, you know, inconspicuous and but you still telling yourself, because in order for you to get your point across, you got to structure it enough to put enough information in what you're saying to kind of give yourself away. And a lot of times y'all be throwing little shots, and sometimes it's directed towards me. I'm going to pick up on that. You're not smart enough to hide it, or you're too egotistical to put enough effort in doing that. But you don't say it straight out, and you don't say my name straight out because you know better. You know that if you do say my name straight out, I will come after you directly, full force. I'm not worried about none of y'all and worried about none of y'all whooping me. I'm definitely not worried about y'all clicking up together online and showing how weak you are to come after one person that stands alone. See, that's why you Negroes, see, I say things like I say, so you can't get away with bullying, clicking up, talking, because if I don't let it be known that it's cowardly to click up and go after one person, it's cowardly to key on your stupid ass panels, dropping inside jokes about certain people, it's cowardly. It's cowardly. And you people are able to get away with it because you have money, you have subscribers, but none of y'all are war veterans. None of y'all are actual heroes. None of y'all done anything greater than yourselves, put your life on a line for other people and things greater than yourself that you believe in. So I know a coward when I see one. So when y'all run your mouth online trying to discredit the kind of archetype that I am, you're a coward. All this big talk you do, you ain't never served the military. You ain't never been a firefighter or a Coast Guard guy or even a cop. You've never faced danger. So when you get online and you've never done nothing, never faced nothing, you project your cowardism by criticizing those that do. You project your cowardism by criticizing those that do. Because while we're out here putting the work in to make things safe and also to scare other countries so they never take your freedoms for you, you get online and you have your little criticism for actual combat veterans, for warriors, for your freedom safeguarders. You idiots think just because I get on here and I'm smooth with it, you forget I'm a whole 2-time combat Army veteran, that I served 9 years in the military, that I worked my way from, being a regular Army guy to working at the White House, which is the top level of the military. You can't get no higher than that. You can't get no higher than that. So when you Negroes are complaining and trying to be cute, all I see is a bunch of envious losers, some of which too scared to show their face online, that just want to throw shots because I trigger your insecurities. You don't really have any reason to throw any shots in my archetype. I'm a single father right here. As much as you look, and another reason why you losers get mad at me, because I call out everything. If you're a 35 and up loser who ain't engaged or married or hard or working hard to get that way, and you have no kids and no prospect, nigga, you might be sus. We don't know what you've been doing. Women don't know what you've been doing. See, when I say stuff like this, I trigger a lot of males that are black males more specifically that are low vibrational, looking for a reason to dislike me anyway. Because 54, 52% of black males don't have kids. So that's the majority. So if you're weak, you're going to take that as a slight. Well, if you're not getting no coochie, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't got no kids, and now you can hide behind the fact that you're just some, high value guy that every woman wants, but no woman has ever been able to, get pregnant by you. You've never been married to one. So you can't hide behind that player facade when someone like me come along and says, well, how do we know you get women? You don't have no kids, you have no proof. How do we know you get women, you get dimes? How do we know you're able to make kids? How do we know that you didn't bat for the other team for a little while? We don't know. So whenever I say things like that, and I'm not even directing it to you, you take slight with it. You get pissed off. It's like when I'm talking about faceless channels. You shouldn't let what I say bother you whatsoever, man. There's this dude out here that I watch sometimes, and I kind of actually do like this dude. He's pretty funny. This dude, I said the dumpster, but I went back and looked at his name. It's the dumper, right? This dude, and every time I start saying these guys' names, they start dropping shady little shit, towards my archetype. They do it every time. Like I say something about some of these other guys I mentioned on the other live streams, all of a sudden these people like Jet Black stuff start saying weird little innuendo-y weird ass shit. Like weird shit, man. And it's like, bro, like, I don't like you, nigga. I just said that you seem like you're intellectual, right? And some of the stuff that you're talking about as far as religion, it resonates. All these ideologies you have about men and life and how, man, I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't give a damn about none of that. You seem like you're very knowledgeable on the religion that you're a part of, and I just like listening to that religion and how, because I seem like I'm more. It seems like I'm in more of alignment with another religion than I am Christianity. And all I do is just like research that religion that I seem like I'm in more of alignment with because of the fasting I do and the amount of praying I do. But that's about it. Like nothing else, bro. Don't think that your ideology or philosophy on anything else matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Right? So any jabs taken that don't mention my name and your faithless channel or perceived jab, I mean, you're already a coward. So I can only take you so serious. You're an admitted coward by not showing your face. So why would I take you serious like I would another man who look right into the camera and say what he has to say? I'm not. I'm not. And y'all been able to get away too long with getting online sounding tough. We all are online sounding tough, right? We all are. We, keyboard warrior and it. We ain't doing nothing to nobody. We can't do nothing to nobody. But when you don't even show your face, don't even do it to yourself, man. Don't do it to yourself. Right? Oh, but you know what? Do it to yourself, but know that nobody with sense listens to a word out of your mouth unless you're talking in a way that's like, you know, talking deeper and philosophical about humanity and just some great type of stuff. But like just your specific ideology about how men are moving nowadays, single men, or I don't care. I don't care. And but I have to get on here because every time I call people out that I think are haters, I call people out think throwing shade. My views go up, my blessings rain down because in my life, the way God works for me, I got to call my enemies out to them. I got to call my enemies out to them. I got to say it out loud. God knows what I'm thinking, but God wants me to say it out loud in my chest. I got to put you out there. I got to let you know that I know that you watch and you have things to say. But unlike you, I'm not going to be a coward. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about all that mess. Okay? And it ain't got nothing to do with like getting online and acting like, if you want to go off of like literally what a badass would be, I mean, I'm not trying to come off that way. You know, I am what I am. If I'm him, I'm just him. If I'm a combat veteran that served 2 years in Iraq, you know, in cavalry scouts, a cavalry scout unit, and I ain't even signed up in the Army to be any kind of infantry guy. I signed up to be an engineer. But when you're an engineer or a tech guy and you're assigned to a combat arms unit, you're now combat arms. Because the first job they teach you in basic training is how to pew pew. That's your number one job in the Army, whether you tech or not, is a shoot and shoot them up. That's your job. Okay, you ain't gonna get up out of it just by being a tech guy. I thought I was gonna get up out of it. Nope. You know what I'm saying? 1 year with a tanker unit, and then the next year with cavalry scouts. And our motto was shoot them in the face. Okay. So I'm not on here just like what you think because I look like I take care of my skin, and you might think I look kind of soft and don't let the smooth taste fool you, nigga. Like I ain't really on here playing with y'all like that. This is my job. This is my career. I take it serious. So if I'm taking it serious, like I took the Army and I studied my Iraqi counterparts and I made sure that I was, you know, political over there so I wouldn't get blown up or shot in the back. But I let them know how I'm taking this battlefield just as serious. I identify my enemies and my targets. I study you. I study you. I don't get offended by what you say because I know you don't mean nothing. Right? But I need to study you. And then I want to show you what psychological warfare is because I was actually trained by the US government on psychological warfare. That's why a lot of my words resonate and I get people like I do because I was trained for this. That's why you don't want to call me out directly because you know I'm going to psychologically destroy you to the end of time. I'm not going to stop. Be like 50 Cent with it. Every year it gets more and more petty. So you can be reminded you should have never messed with me in the first place. You should have never came over here. To sit here and challenge you into a physical fight would be a moment in time that everybody could forget. But if I can make money off of you by just talking about you and your dumbass way of thinking, you know, and then drag this out and do this, then I can monetize it and I can really torture your ass over a long period of time. And I'm not sadistic. I'm like, oh, here we go. No. I one of those don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I want them people to leave me alone. You don't like me, trust me, I don't like you either. I just don't, I'm not emotional. I'm not going to like let the way that you are, you know, change how I move or dictate anything. I will get on here and call you out, but this afternoon I'll be on here chopping up my subscribers, showing my face and laughing. You content creators don't show your face. You think you're getting on here making some Malcolm X proclamation, right? You're not doing nothing, nigga. You're not doing nothing but getting online, being faceless, attracting other faceless channels. You know what I'm saying? Having observers like me listen to a coward talk like he's some kind of tough guy. And not tough guy in the sense like you're going to hurt somebody physically. Maybe you think you can, but just a verbal tough guy, someone that thinks that he's eloquent enough and philosophical. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a coward, bro. Shit, nigga, like most of us to a certain extent, we're exercising cowardism by, saying certain things about other people, and it's all online. It's all fake. The only real way to be a full 100% real dude is to only call somebody out in real life. So to a certain extent, we're all exercising cowardism. I can agree to that, even myself. But for you to be able to be a coward, knowing that no one can touch you because you're recording from your phone or your computer or a camera, and still be so cowardly to not show your face, that's a new level of cowardism. That kind of cowardism is a dangerous level of cowardism. You think you can hide your face, hide yourself, and give all this criticism, advice. That is a dangerous level of entitlement and cowardism. Dangerous. Dangerous, man. Listen, you Negroes be better off just saying, I just don't like blah, blah, blah. Bruh, I don't need for you to like me. Don't know why y'all we know why, the talking points, right? The way of phrasing things and putting things together that you guys can just regurgitate what I'm saying and get plenty of views. And also get told, oh, that was deep. Oh, that was deep. Hey, man, listen, you motherfuckers that really aren't deep like that, you get exposed. And if you were one of these people, like let's say, for example, that show, Tonight's Conversation, a lot of those people were stealing talking points from me, man. A lot of those dudes on there were stealing talking points from me. And that show crashed and burned. Now, he's out there still making content, but nobody watched that shit like that. I don't even see his videos spreading through the algorithm like they were prior to this huge Tonight's Conversation. The only thing that's spreading through is that Kitty Rose chick or whatever, Kitty whatever. Kita, I don't know, man. You don't mess up names. You know what I mean? The chick that got the lipo. You know what I mean? The online bragging about being thin, but we all know that she got some lipo or whatever done. That's the only videos I see. I don't see nothing from that Tonight's Conversation. And a lot of those Negroes was stealing my talking points, bro. Like, I stopped watching that crap. Because even when Ace was pandering to women, I would still watch it because, honestly, he's a comic to me. Like, he played the hell out of them women. He get on there doing some real theatrical stuff, and I'm like, I can see it clear as day that he's, pandering, and the women would just love it, right? And he's getting all their money. So I really stopped having a problem with the Ace dude. He's hustling the crap out of women, not men. We're not falling for it, right? But then the other dudes like Trip, and then I'm like, nigga, bar for bar. You know what I mean? Just like Soldier, bar for bar. And when I hear my words on these niggas, man, I'm like, and everybody calling these guys, deep. And then I'm like, bro, they regurgitating my stuff. And everybody think they so deep and this and that and the third. Because I remember when the show first started and the way they were talking. And then as time went on, niggas started sounding more and more like me. So I'm just like, man, see what happens is, again, you gotta move in a way where you're so unique that nobody can take nothing from you. Y'all wonder why I work out like I do, work on my skin, because God is telling me, bro, like you that dude, and it's always been this way. It's not like I just got online and I got niggas trying to steal from me while acting like they have a problem with me and they don't like me. Man, it's been like this. I told you the story about how I had to get promoted in the White House. I had a Navy guy that didn't like me. He was a married dude. He didn't like how I was getting women and woo, and how I was making rank fast, and he wanted to do something about it. He tried to slow me down from making rank, right? I've always had this. It's always where people that are in positions of power over me, they know that I'm not scared of them. They know that I'm not going to kiss their ass. They know that I'm going to tell them like it is, no matter what. And they know that I'm damn good at my job. They know if I wasn't qualified to go to the board, that other NCO, that Army guy, shout out to my boy Frith, wouldn't have been able to take me to the promotion board. I wouldn't have been qualified. I was obviously qualified, but the Navy guy put new rules in place because he didn't want to see somebody like me being the same rank as him, telling him, nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't even got to, at the point we're the same rank, I ain't got to respect you whatsoever. Nah, I ain't doing that, and that's dumb. Let me tell you why. He didn't want me doing that, so he wanted to make sure I was one rank underneath him at least. Right? We're not doing this, bro. I've been dealing with y'all in different spirit form. No, same spirit in different bodies. I'm sorry. I've been dealing with you demons, man. Been chasing me around everywhere I go, trying to find a way to infect somebody that's low vibrational enough to have a problem with me and don't even know me. To think that it's okay to steal another man's words while having a problem with the way that he moves. How are you going to steal my words, nigga? But the man that came up with them, you have a problem with the way that I speak to women. You have a problem with the way that I put my information out there, and you feel like you can critique it, but you're stealing my words. You act like you feel like my words are better suited for you, and why ain't God giving them to you instead of me? Because you ain't real enough to represent God. You're a whole coward. God is not a coward. He is the light. He don't hide in the darkness and the shadows. You can't be him if you aren't willing to take the sacrifice, put yourself out there. If you're not willing to do that, to sacrifice yourself for what you know God is telling you to put out there and your belief, then you're not him. You don't deserve to be put on no kind of anything to anyone. Coward. Now you can take it however you want to. I'm hoping to continue. And y'all that be out there that used to be faceless channels that should be thanking me for calling you out, because I've noticed after I said, oh, blah, 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 faceless channel, I've seen faceless channels go from not showing their face to being on camera every day smiling. And I know you feel better, especially you women out there. I know y'all feel better you're showing your face on camera. Don't you feel more authentic? Don't you feel like you really giving the people what they want? Instead of you jipping them with just your voice, they can't see how you're really reacting to what you're saying. They can't see your face. They can't see how you really think. You can say whatever. If people can't read your facial expressions, they really don't know how you're intaking the information. They don't know how you're handling it, right? You're a professional. You're a grown adult. Where is your face at? Now, again, I told you, there's a few exceptions. And the only reason why I say this, because I haven't necessarily felt like BGS Ipmore has ever taken a slight towards me. I could be wrong. Dude's pretty smart. Maybe he said some stuff that went over my head, but as far as I know, I ain't felt like dude took no slight towards me. This man, now, let me say something real quick. BGS does sound older, but he doesn't sound like he's 70 something or Morgan Freeman style. That's disrespectful. No one's gonna let that slight just go by. That's disrespectful. You ain't cute, nigga, and you ain't funny. You don't sit there and insult a man right into his face and say, oh, I'm just joking. You don't even show your face, nigga. You don't even show your face on camera. BGS to take it for himself. This ain't about him. It's about him showing you some respect. And then when he's there, you trying to crack jokes and you're not even funny. You're not even funny. Shit wasn't funny. If you got to explain the joke, it ain't funny. Okay? Nobody sounds like they look like Morgan Freeman. The fuck? The fuck are you? Y'all got to be real careful who you side with. As much as you dislike me, I am real. I do not shade people that show me respect or would pop up in my live stream right to their face because I'm too much of a coward. I'm too emotional and cowardly to be man enough to keep that internal weird ass disrespectful way of thinking to myself. Right? It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like that's too comfortable for me. If being a part of a community means I show up to someone's live stream and they take a jab at me and I'm like, what? Nigga, I just all I did was just show up your live stream, man. Hey, what's all that about? This shit ain't funny. It ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? And again, if BGS is aligned with somebody that takes a lot of shots towards people and I think that's throwing shade towards me, more likely BGS probably don't too much care for me either. Remember, I don't care. I don't care who likes me or who don't. As long as you don't disrespect me, I ain't got no disrespect for you. As long as you ain't taking no shots or throwing no shade towards me, I ain't got you ain't got to like me, nigga. We're grown men. We're going to have things about each other we don't like. Insecurities that other people trigger. I get it. But what I don't do is if someone ain't got no problem with me, I don't normally, start nothing with them. If I feel like someone is taking a jab, he done popped up in my content too much. He done popped up my Instagram and done popped up my Facebook, or he done popped up my YouTube and my Instagram. Like, nah, nigga, I think you watching my content. And then you take a little slight, little shade, little, little jab that's directed towards my archetype or something very, very close to what I said. I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Hell no, nigga. I'm going to give you a warning shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a warning shot. This is it right now. You better back off, Goofy. You better back off. telling you straight up, boy, I don't need for you to show your face for me to do a little bit of investigative journalism, find out why you ran to another country and get a little bit more background and then start taking jabs, you know what I mean? Like jabs at your direct story without seeing your name. Like, man, it sounds like some shit that I did a couple years ago that if it's public and it's online and I find out about it, I'm gonna fuck with you. Because you niggas coming over here disliking my content, you ain't gotta like me. But are you watching my videos all the way through? Are you hitting that like button? Because I got very few likes. Are you hitting that like button? I don't think you are. I think my soul tribe's hitting that like button. My cousin Trey, I don't think that you are out here hitting that like button. I think you keep coming over here, hate watching. I motivate you dumb, goofy, lazy niggas to get up and get something done, right? Because you don't know how to give respect where respect is due. You don't know how to give back to people. See, some people, you guys got to understand, when you're a light and you vibrate high, people will attach themselves to you just to be more productive without your consent. And that pisses me off. That's why I call out copycats. You're attaching yourselves to me. And I never gave you permission to. You're feeding off my energy. It's all about energy. You're a parasite. You're a parasite. You need people like me of the light so you can have someone to dislike. Easy to dislike someone that's authentic and don't let others bother them. Because then you can say, oh, he's in la la land. I'm just going to tell you, I just can't stand how happy. You can't stand how happy I am, nigga, because you miserable. Other reasons why you online not showing your face and always mad. Can't even see if a nigga ever crack a smile. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. Because you don't hear without his face showing, arguing and whining all the time. Complaining. You don't give nothing back. See, I know I learned something with this Aaron Hall. I'm getting better at the name thing. Have y'all seen that video going around with that black dude, Aaron Hall, doing his morning routine? It's got like 600 and something billion views or something like that. What is the black guy that got this video out? He's a fitness influencer. So, you know, he's pretty jacked, I guess. More than likely he's on the roids, but people, you know, he claims he's not, but all those fitness influencers say they're not. But anyway, he has his morning routine where he shows you what he does when he gets up at 3 something in the morning. What he did was he collected all the ideas that are trending right now, and he consolidated them in one video. He knows that people are looking for ways to get in shape, looking for biohacks. Like when I tell people I get up at early in the morning, or I tell people I drink a lot of water, or I start showing my water jugs because I drink a gallon of water a day, and I start showing my water jugs in my videos. I start seeing other influencers with water bottles in their videos. I see other influencers talking about health is wealth and things of that nature. They don't want to give me credit where credit is due, but I'm still influencing them and they're still influencing their audience. So, you know, it's still a win-win. But I still see Negroes doing this, and these same Negroes be talking about community. The same Negroes be talking about community, right? And what it is there's a hierarchy in every niche online where you have to kiss a little ass and go to their live streams, you know, get in their live streams, start glazing them over a little bit, you know, so they can shout you, hey, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. I blah, 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 blah. I see your channel too. Listen, if I don't watch your content like that, which I watch very few live streams. I got content creators I like a lot, but I don't watch their live stream because sometimes they go into a tangent. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They could be taking shots too. So I just wait for the live stream to be over and I go back and I watch, you know, a little segment of it, like 30 minutes of it. I don't watch the whole damn thing. You know, you got to be really rocking like Lapeefin was doing at one time where you staying on topic. There's no inside jokes. You know, you're not like straying too far and you're engaged for me to watch the whole thing. Like that 1 4-hour video they had, no jokes was being said. They got to the meat and potatoes. They were going at it the whole time. And by the end of it, they all came to a resolution. I fuck with that. I watched it. Right? I always tell y'all who I watch and whatever. It ain't because I'm trying to chase clout. I'm giving credit where credit is due. If I think that y'all had a good video or some good content, I'm gonna let people know. I have people that watch me. I have content. It ain't just content creators. I have people that watch me and then they go and start watching y'all's content because I said that you was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like when I put that Taylor, I don't want to mess her name up. The chick on IG, the black chick that I recently put up, and then I said that after she got an increase in followers, she started talking bad about certain kinds of men. And I'm like, the men gave you that extra following. I put your video out there. I've seen other content creators use her video after I put her on. I go and search out people. This is how I know people are lazy that are content creators. They don't search out people. They just go and look at the people that someone else has already searched and then go and repost their video and put their perspective on it. I go to Instagram and TikTok and find these people and Facebook. That's normally where they start at, right? They end up on YouTube, but they start in those places. I go through my algorithm, flipping through videos until I find these people. It's a new face saying something really good and they speak really well. Gotcha. Take the video, save it, and the next thing you know it, I'll see, and I make sure their video, their tags and ads are displayed, and I'll see other content creators with more subscribers than me using the same content creator who I'd never seen on YouTube before. It's easy to put two and two together. You don't have to tell me you're watching my content. I'm not an idiot. I'm not caught up in this 3D world. I'm very observant. I notice patterns, and I notice when you do a pattern shift. Okay, when you do a pattern shift, or what you call an update or an upgrade. Let's say you guys are upgrading your aesthetics in the background. I noticed that. And I'm looking to see whether you got any influence from me. It's the way it is. You start upgrading your look. You know, let's give another example. Donovan Sharp, okay? Nothing against Donovan Sharp, but Donovan Sharp takes a lot of stuff from other people. Look, the way certain people look, and then he puts it together. He's good. He's good at that, kind of like Kevin Samuels, right? But I see a lot of other people's influence in what he does. And then the look he's taking on here recently, that's not the same look he had like last year and the year before. Studying and upgrading based off of what you see is trending, what other women like, you know what I'm saying? And what you've noticed on Negroes, and then just taking that and making it your own. I notice all this stuff, bro. I notice all of it. If you end up in my reaction videos and you think you're studying me, you might have ended up there because I'm studying you. I'm studying you too. As slick as y'all think y'all are, I'm studying you too. Sometimes I put you in my reaction videos just to let you know. I mean, I want you to be worried. Like, does he know that I'm watching him? Or is he just putting me in a, no, I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you, sis. Right? You popped up in my feed. You started saying some stuff that sounded similar to what I speak like, or you look like me now. You went from looking a certain kind of way to looking like a copy of me. So then I got to look in and see what you're doing. I'm not a fool. I'm not going to let my people just like move around me, look like me, sound like me. I'm just like, oh, well, I guess we're all coincidentally going through the same awakening. I guess we're all just out here just getting this divine knowledge. I guess God is giving a divine knowledge clearance sale, right? No, it's not happening. If you niggas had it in you like that, you've been talking like this before I came on the scene. A lot of you have to upgrade it, your whole way of speaking and everything. You ain't gonna give me no props because you know you're getting it from me. You ain't gonna do that. That's cool. But what you will do, what I've noticed about Negroes, is you will turn around and bite the hand that feeds you. You will start trying to critique somebody that you know that you use to learn and upgrade yourself. Because I'm the kind of person where I worked at the highest level, the White House. Some of y'all know how to look that up. Some of y'all don't. Definitely sound like it. So if like this dude worked at the White House, and if I just steal a little bit the way he speaks and a little bit, then I'll be able to get higher level of women and I'll sound smarter. I know what you dumbass niggas are doing, man. I know what y'all doing. A lot of black folks think that this is a hustle. That's why we have a bad reputation. You make everything into a hustle. It's not a hustle, man. This is your career. This is your life. You should be doing it to the best of your ability, not trying to hustle people out. What y'all don't understand, a lot of Negroes be thinking they hustling y'all. They get off their live streams and be like, easy money, another bag, regurgitating somebody else's information, putting no effort into it, and then bragging to their significant others or family members. I'm online all the time, running my mouth, saying a bunch of bullshit I done picked up from somebody else, making bank, right? Acting like they playing people. Y'all don't even understand how they move like that. Like, these people are weird, right? So again, you know, I'm going to call all of you out because, again, once I really realized how cowardly the internet is, you know, and before I was thinking that when I first got on here and I was getting like hate comments or haters with fake, you know, profiles, I didn't really realize that so many people are content creators with fake profiles. So many people are content creators with fake profiles saying certain things to see how I'm going to react to them, testing me. And when they seen I'm quick with it, they backed off real quick. And they also, if they thought about making some content about me, maybe trying to expose me or whatever, ain't nothing to expose, I ain't already said. And once you go ahead and put me out there, you're on my list. I'm never going to stop making content about you. I'm never going to stop making content about you. And you can think that you can get online and talk tough and I'm run that fade. I'm not going to talk like that, bro. I'm not. You're going to know where I'm at because I'm in North Carolina, Asheville right now area. You're going to know where I'm moving to. Regardless of how many earthquakes randomly pop up in Thailand, no matter what, no matter, the fact that there are movies being made about Thailand right now, and there's a lot of attention on Thailand from, government and, these big Why? Why? Hell no, man. I'm still going over there. They could have 5 more earthquakes before I get there. I'm still going over there, right? Y'all can have as many planes as you want to fall out the sky to discourage people from going and leaving this country. I'm still going over there, okay? It's going to have to fall out the sky with me in it. You understand? The earthquake's going to have to happen while I'm there. And if it does, it's like, well, shit, I call this on myself. It is what it is. I am not going to let any of these deter tactics, all this weird stuff going on that ain't never really happened like that, or even if Thailand has been having these earthquakes, they're being reported now. They haven't been being reported before now. And there's a lot of people talking about going to Thailand. So you understand something. A lot of y'all, like I'm saying, you're in this country, you're the light. You're the light, you're energy. And there's a lot of principalities and entities that need to feed off your battery. They don't want you to leave. They need your creativity. They need your energy. They need their batteries. They don't want you to leave. You're going to have a lot of marriage reform coming out and a lot of stuff. They're not going to tell you they're doing it because a lot of people are leaving and no one's getting married and making slaves. But they need their slaves to be obedient and dumb. People are leaving. So you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff. They might even try, I keep telling y'all this, they might try to pull another goofy ass war and pull that maritime shit, that goofy shit where they're taking advantage of the water and all that goofy stuff that they do where he can enact stuff like a travel ban or people can't travel. They're going to try to find a way to trap people in this hellhole because whenever you're vibrating high, going on vacation outside of this fake reality based off the media, social media, and the radio and your government, you see if the world is not moving at the pace that the U.S. try to make it seem and everything ain't as bad. They don't want you seeing that, man. They need you to consistently be in a low vibration, always upset, worn out, tired, not thinking, and giving your energy away to them freely. Just wanted to put that little segment in there real quick. If you want to travel, travel. Don't let planes dropping. My cousin was traveling multiple times, dude, while them planes was dropping. I'm not going to let the media, and he got where he needed to go just fine, no problems whatsoever. And he was traveling a lot when they were talking about the planes dropping. Now they were talking. I'm not saying the earthquake ain't real. I just, a lot of stuff's going on, bro. A lot of stuff's going on. And every time people start getting happy and wherever the happiness is directed, all of a sudden problems will be happening there. Wherever the happiness is directed or wherever there's something that all of a sudden there's these natural disaster type of stuff going on there. Right. I just seen a promotion for a movie with women talking about what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand. And this is white women. That ain't what people go to. White women don't go to Thailand. White men and black men do. So they're hijacking our whole, movement, making movies out of it. So if the movie industry is making movies out of it, right? What makes you think the government's not paying attention to it too? You know what I'm saying? And you guys are weird. Like I said, I used to work for the White House. I had to sign an NDA. They got some major weapons you niggas don't know nothing about, bro. When I get online and I start talking about the government a certain way and I seem kind of scared, I'm a warrior, dude. Ain't nothing going to worry me unless I know more than I probably should. And I'm just like navigating a certain kind of way, right? Y'all have no idea. You have no idea. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and be their guinea pigs because when you work for them, you see what they've done to other countries, testing stuff. Da, da, da. When you start seeing them do that to your country, no. Okay, so you were just testing this shit out over there. Now you're going to bring it over. Okay. And now you're testing it on us to use them on other people. Okay. No. I got to go. They're testing too many weaponry on us over here. There's too much going on. I got to go. And I'm not going to let nothing discourage me from getting up out of here. So I'll start talking about Vietnam. We should all start talking about somewhere else other than Thailand so they can back off that area. I'll start talking about moving to somewhere else like Colombia or something like that. I ain't letting nobody discourage me from where I'm going. Okay. But again, yeah, I'll get back on here a little bit later. I got my whole walk in, man. I'm going to go to the golf course. I hate going live out here. these neighbors, man, they either subscribe to me or I don't know. Every time I start going live, they start popping up, coming outside, sitting on their porches. And I guess I want to hear what I have to say. Just subscribe to my channel, bro. Like, you know, I gave all of y'all my doggone YouTube channel name. Come outside, start sitting on their porches and stuff. You know how white folks are, man. Especially North Carolina white folks. If you don't know, I'm telling you. They always want to know what you're thinking and what you're doing. But then they want to always act like they ain't paying you no attention. They don't want you around. You know, they don't know. I've grown up in North and South Carolina. I know how they are. You know what I'm saying? I know how to navigate y'all. I know how to navigate y'all, man. Shit. These motherfuckers was calling me a nigger all the way back in middle school on the bus. I had to get up and fight. I know how to navigate y'all. But listen, I'm just going to say it one more time, man. You people, find something else to do, man. Like, find something else to do. You know, I don't respect none of y'all like that, bro. You ain't served in the military. I don't really serve you. I don't really respect you like that. Because normally military guys, they might take a little bit of a jab or whatever, but we still have a little bit of respect for each other regardless. No, whatever branch it is. You Negroes, they never served nothing. You've never been taught how to organize and you know, be bigger than your little community, you know, in your little local area or the little few black people, you know, whatever. You've never been organized and taught how to move differently. So I can't blame you too much, but to sit there and constantly have a problem with the way somebody else is moving and not just really block them, like the people I mentioned today or that I've alluded to, man, I hide your channel from my channel so you never pop up again. I don't hate watch you. I don't like you. I don't like how you speak. I don't want your shit popping back up in my feed. I've already identified you as some low vibrational, low IQ, goofy loser. So there's no point in me allowing for your trash to continue to pop up in my feed. If I continue to watch you, I'm being just as emotional as a leftover woman. If I try to articulate myself throwing jabs at you when I know that I don't like you, I don't like nothing about you, then I'm weird. I'm weird at that point, and I need to get a life. I have too much going on. I identify, let y'all get 3 strikes. Basically meaning 3, not the same video, but 3 different videos. If I get the subtlety of jabs without saying my name, you let me know you're a coward. You have a problem with the way that I am, but you don't want to say my name. Nigga, most of y'all ain't got very many more subscribers than I do, the ones I'm talking about. You're not going to put me on by you mentioning my name on your channel when you only have maybe 1,000 more subscribers than I do. Like, that don't do nothing for, it does nothing for me. You understand? But when I know that what happens, I see you guys jumping in other social media content creators on YouTube. When I see y'all jumping in their live streams, it shows me that you're watching live streams all day. See, you give yourselves away. I'm the wrong person to do this with, y'all. I was paid to investigate. Communications agency, White House Communications Agency. You need to think about that. Navigating and mining data online is what I was paid to do by the government at the highest level, right? They thought I qualified based off my knowledge, my ability to learn, you know, and the background check that I passed. Very extensive background check you got to go through to get a top secret clearance, you know what I'm saying, with a Yankee White, right? It's really hard to get that. That's one of the top level clearances, man. TSSCI Yankee White, look it up. There aren't too many more higher than that, right? You have to have a squeaky clean background. So when y'all call someone a pookie or you already sound stupid. You never was even able to even think about working at the levels I did, right? When I got on here after going through a divorce, I could have been like, you fake ass niggas, right? And I could have faked it until I made it, but I wanted people that are going through what I'm going through right now to see you can get through it too. And not know after story, you watch me get through it so you can see you can do it too, right? It takes a lot of courage to do that because I normally get criticism. Oh, he's a broke dusty. Like, this guy, how did this handsome guy end up like this? And it makes people feel better to see someone that looks good or seem like they should have it together and they don't. It makes people feel good to watch it. And what I did was I watched the people that were watching me and throwing shade. throughout that entire time while I was faking broke. Because again, I want to make sure my ex-wife didn't get any alimony. So to fake broke online means nothing to me. I have to fake broke in real life, just online. Get some raggedy clothes, or just go and buy some real basic ass clothes. Because my ex knows I love to dress, right? So if I'm dressed down in a way, she's like, oh, he's at his bottom barrel. He ain't. And then she asked for nothing in a divorce. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? You niggas get on here after divorce, start getting a bunch of women, go get another job, brag about it, and then now you paying alimony. Right? But no, while I was looking a certain way on here, I was able to observe people that would have probably came in faking to be nice if I'd have looked like I had myself together, right? And I got to see the people that stayed away from me. I got to see the people that probably observed me, but I could tell that these women kind of respected what I was doing. I got to see the women on TikTok and Instagram that reached out to me. I got to see the women on YouTube that reached out to me, no matter how unhinged I seemed or how much people like to say I crash out. Women reach out to me to say they like what I'm doing, they respect it, or they find me attractive. Right? So I got to see, oh man, so no matter what these idiots online think, women love this stuff. Right? If they find you attractive, they don't care. As long as you don't seem like you're some psychopath that'll hurt them, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? You can be online talking bad about me all day long. You're just probably turning women on more to me, to be honest. Right? And that's a lot of the reason why a lot of these guys have a problem with me, period, is because of the things I've said about taking their girl. They know I have the ability to take their girl, and they think I'm going to try to do it. I don't want nothing that your stinking, dirty, hairy ass been inside of. If she is low down enough to get with you, I don't want nothing to do with her. Something's wrong with her. You're a fucking disgusting dirtbag. Why in the hell would I want a woman that's been with you? I want your sloppy sackings, nigga. Chill out. So I'm just the kind of person that triggers a lot of dudes. And the thing about me is there's no reason for these Negroes to get triggered by me. I'm an Army veteran. I'm one of the first people online in recent history to actually tell women like it is without sugarcoating it, while also giving solutions and not just ranting. Because the solutions I come up with, I hear others talking about, right? Hence the reason why I don't really come up with too many solutions anymore. What I try to do is just make reaction videos so you idiots don't get to, regurgitate my words on some podcast and everybody think you just smart. You ain't smart for shit, nigga. A trained monkey can regurgitate certain things or do certain things you train it to do. That don't make it impressive. We ain't bringing up nothing new. None of you Negroes are coming up with nothing new. The most y'all do is try to come up with a certain look so that you can hit the algorithm, right? So that the look that you have, the aesthetic you have carries you through. You're not smart like that. You're not coming up with nothing new to bring to the table. And a lot of y'all just, what you do is you run around looking for content creators that aren't exactly viral yet and just steal what they say. And then you niggas think y'all hustling. You're stealing from someone that's going to obviously be going somewhere. And when I get there, I'm going to call all of you out. And I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to call all of you out that are stealing from me. This is the way it is. I have no allegiance to you. You Negroes get online and you talk too much. You think because you're nobody that I'm going to be a nobody? Well, I mean, I would believe you if all of you weren't over here religiously trying to feed off of the intellectual property that I post. How can I be a nobody, but when y'all always want to know what I'm saying? Right? And even though I know y'all are nobodies, you think you're somebody. So if you think you're somebody and you're watching me, what does that make me, nigga? What does that make me? See, when y'all say, oh, you're nobody, that's a weak male that don't know how to talk or think, speaking like a woman. It's the same thing as a guy saying you're broke and you're stupid. That's the best you can come up with, right? You got some money, but you're watching me. You're interacting with me. What does it say about me? If I don't need the same level of money for you to respect me on a level enough to let what I say bother you. I don't need for you to say things, niggas. Like I was really, like trained in the military and then the government at the highest levels. I know how shady people move. None of y'all can be shadier than government officials and senior staff. None of y'all. None of y'all brains work at the capacity of those people who are just firing off all the time. You got to when you work for the White House. You got to be quick. You wonder why I'm quick. This is why I'm quick, right? So the difference too is I don't want to be y'all's friends. I don't have no respect for you when you show no respect for me. I don't care how many years you have in the game online. What does that matter to me? The years while you were online building your platform, I was serving my country. I was doing something bigger than myself. I was being an actual warrior, not calling myself one online, getting subscribers. It don't mean nothing to me. It don't mean anything to me what you've built up. It don't mean anything to me what you think. Why would it? I don't get to take nothing from you guys. You're always taking from me. So why in the world would I respect you or look at you like a peer? You're my subordinate. I'm your sergeant. I give you all the commands and all the right ways to speak, and then you move out. You carry out that order. You know what I'm saying? You're following the proper chain of command. And just like a subordinate soldier or a child you're raising, y'all like to have little spouts now and again. You like to go against the authority that you look up to, like a child or, a young soldier would. But being the staff sergeant I was in the Army and being in charge of soldiers in Iraq and making sure they didn't lose their minds and getting them back home, I know how to handle y'all. What you see, in order for what y'all say to affect me, I have to respect you and I have to look at you as a peer or higher. I don't. Now, if some of you guys are veterans, I do have a certain respect for you. I do. Even if you seem corny or you pander to women or whatever, you're still a veteran and you're built in a way to take care of people and to lead people. And we all have our own leadership styles in the military. So I don't care. If you're a veteran and you're online representing black men and men, great. And you haven't lost your mind and you're not representing veterans in a bad way, it's salutes, man. It's all salutes for you. I ain't got no problem with you. I don't even care if I don't agree with your ideology. You're still my brother in combat arms, man, and we ain't got to agree on everything, but you're representing yourself well. That means you're representing black men well. That means you're representing veterans well. So I have no problem with you, right? But I can always tell a veteran, too. Veterans that are online, they got a different kind of way that they think and move, man. Like, it takes a lot to get most of them pissed off because they really don't take you civilian serious like that. I'm just telling you what it is. We really don't take you civilian serious like that. See, in order for me to allow you to bother me, I have to take you serious. I have to respect you as a peer. You're not my peers. You didn't serve your country. You didn't go through basic training. You didn't get shot at. You didn't have to deal with sergeants that were dumber than you, but you had to respect them or otherwise you get court-martialed. You didn't have to bite your tongue during your most rebellious years and learn that discipline. No, you were just able to be wild and do God knows what, right? So I don't expect for you to have that level of discipline. So I don't expect for you to move like I move, and I don't expect for you to respect somebody like me. And in that same breath, whatever you say as a civilian means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. I'm not calling all civilians trash. What I'm saying is if you're a civilian male and you're online talking like you're some kind of civil rights leader or a commander of some type of military, I have no respect for you. You got delusions of grandeur. I don't have you don't have the balls enough to do what you need to do to be this person that you want to be online. You've never done it in real life, so the next best thing is to fake it online. And I can't respect that. Because if a lot of y'all really was, veterans, or if you did something in real life, you wouldn't get online and posture so much. You wouldn't need to. You already did something that's greater than yourself. So again, man, I would drag this out longer, but I want to actually get some views in here. But I will chop this up. The good thing about it being in this format, this kind of format makes for better videos to chop up and repurpose. And, so no content gets wasted on my channel. I'm just like my ancestors, the Aboriginal, Indians of this country. I don't waste anything. I make sure everything gets used, right? And I said Aboriginal, and I did say Indian, or whatever classification they've had for African American people. And I'm not talking about no red Indian or Native American. When I say Native American, I said Indian, okay? I said Indian. Do your lineage. You know what I'm saying? Do your what is I can't even think of the word right now, where you research all your ancestors. But you need to get that started, man, so you can know where you're from and know where your people are from. Have some pride in that. And also just know, man, like, look, you got a job to do out here. You know, I got a job I'm doing. I represent a lot of regular guys. I represent a lot of veterans, and I represent a lot of people that think the way I do. You know, even you haters that sit out here and hate on me and steal my intellectual property, you're still fans. You know what I'm saying? If I would take a week off, you idiots will probably end up taking 3 to 4 days, waiting on me to come back on here so you can have some inspiration, somebody that pisses you off, that makes you want to get on here and say something about it, or just someone that gives you words and ideas to make videos. If I disappeared off the internet, and I might do it one day, for 2 weeks, I guarantee you, most of you idiots that hate on me would slow down in your production, because you have one less person as a muse and someone to hate on, to get online and motivate you to do something better with yourself. Like I said earlier about being the light. When you're the light, man, everything comes to the light. Other light and the dark. All of it tries to get to the light, man. These people want some light, man. They're tired of being in the darkness, man. So they're going to come back to my channel no matter what I do. You want to know why? I vibrate high, bro. I'm always doing something, okay? I have a lot of energy. And a lot of these people are low energy ass people. They barely can talk. They barely can like work out. Well, I'm running every day. They come back over here to be motivated, man. They're just too low vibrational and low IQ to give appreciation and give credit where credit is due. They can't help themselves. And I can see these demons on y'all. I can see them. I got too much expertise in this. You're not going to be in the military as long as I was and talk shit like I do and not know how to navigate. You know, not know, oh, this dude don't like me. I ain't going to be around him. I can tell these people over here, you know, in this little side unit, they don't too much care for me and my friend, because they think that we work on computers and we don't work hard enough. I'm going to stay away from them. Oh, okay, most of these content creators in this niche are a bunch of haters and want to steal your intellectual property, but then act like you don't exist. Oh, okay. That's it. It ain't no like, oh my God, they won't accept me. I don't even like most of you niggas, man. I can tell that most of y'all are like incels and femcels. I don't really want to interact with y'all. You wouldn't be stealing intellectual property if you was a normal person. You'd be out in the public. You'd be out and about. You'd be around your family. You'd be doing whatever you got to do. And you'd be coming up with your own ideas. You're not. You got no respect for none of y'all. Y'all be thinking that you're the only ones that don't like somebody. Oh, I can't stand this dude. I don't like y'all either. I don't like y'all. Okay? I don't even use a lot of y'all that I used to use in my reaction videos. I don't even do that no more with y'all. I don't want you on my platform. I don't want to platform you. I don't want you to think that I kind of like you, or no, I don't like your ass, man. I don't. I just don't need to get on here every day and talk about how these married people have no life, how these married women are obsessively watching men online. I don't feel like doing that every day. I just don't feel like doing it every day. You know who you are. I ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. You know, but some of y'all think that I know that you don't like me. And I know the ones that don't like me, and I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like how you move. I don't like how you steal ideas. I don't like how you look. You know, I don't like how you talk. You know what I'm saying? For some of you females, I don't like how your mouth moves whenever you're talking. Whole lot of mouth action, like you about to go suck your man's dick or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So don't be over here thinking like, oh, this dude get on my nerves and I'm hate watching him. The difference between me and you is I put not recommend channel, so you no longer pop up in my feed. So whatever you say, I don't have nothing to say to it. So whatever slights you throw, I won't see them. Once I identify you as someone that's trying to throw shade through clever wording and verbiage, right? Once I pick up on it, it's done. It's done. So now you can't trigger me or try to trigger me. You can study me all you want, but the studying you do means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. I don't watch your content. You can study me and then try to say things to get under my skin. It wouldn't work. A person that does this a lot, and I like this content creator, right? But there's one, this fitness dude, right? Again, I'll bring him up again, like Greg Doucette, right? This dude will make videos on people. And I want to show y'all how people can be very sneaky. He'll make videos giving people praise. He'll be like, oh, you know, good job, boo, boo. But he thinks after doing that, then that makes it okay for him to criticize people on this crazy level. But that's not, he knows that that still looks crazy, right? What he does is, then he goes and says, I never done nothing to this guy. I even gave this guy compliments. I don't know why he's okay with my compliments, but then when I'm giving him a critique, see, when you open the door for a compliment, you allow for a hidden enemy to critique you. That's why I say, I don't need your compliments and I don't need your criticism. Neither one of them makes or breaks me. So if I know you're a fuckboy and you like doing goofy stuff, like triggering people into reacting to you, so you can then say, well, I gave him praise. I don't know why he's mad at me now. Well, how come he can take praise, but he can't take criticism? Okay, cool. Right? I see how you move. That's how I watch people, right? I'm not in the fitness industry. I ain't got to worry about Greg Doucette messing with me or building content off of me and all that. But I watch how he's building content off everybody else, and he's kind of intelligent, right? The rest of them people that in the fitness industry, not all of them, you know what I'm saying? They're like a black dude in there called Beast Mode James or something like that. And they don't mess with him because he's intellectual too. But if you're not that smart, which most gym bros aren't, Greg Doucette will have you looking crazy. He'll have you looking crazy online. But if you're a smart person, you know how to navigate somebody like him, right? So let's say I'm gonna start working out and I start posting my videos. Let's say I start getting some clout for it, and someone like Greg Doucette or Greg himself actually starts making a reaction video talking about how am I natty or not. And then, in the first video, he gives me a compliment on my physique or whatever. If I respond to him, what I would say is, I don't need for you to be staring at my physique for God knows how many hours on a day so that you can give me a compliment or criticism. I'm not doing this workout thing for the male gaze, or otherwise I would be, doing professional bodybuilding competitions. So dudes can stare at me as long as they want to, right? I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for my health. I'm doing it for myself. I might put a couple videos up for the algorithm, man. People love fitness. And for the bitches. I don't care what any dude thinks. I don't want no dude critiquing my body. For y'all to let a grown man sit there and critique your body. And I mean, and when it comes to, no offense, when it comes to the American white guy, they say a lot of, sus stuff and then play it off like a joke. Oh, I'm just joking, looking at his package. I'm just joking. Bruh, that ain't no joke. It ain't funny. A joke has to be funny in order for it to be a joke. And it has to be funny to other people and not just you. I don't play none of that ball gazing, print watching, man glazing. I don't want nothing to do with that shit. I don't want no dude thinking that it's okay to try to glaze and critique. Bro, you could be critiquing me just so you don't make yourself feel weird, that you get a little tingle whenever you watch some content that I'm putting out. You gotta be real careful. I don't play none of that goofy down low shit, bro. I don't want none of you dudes staring at me like that. I would never professionally bodybuild or whatever, and go on shows wearing fucking Speedos and thongs so dudes can look. That's not my thing, right? I'm just trying to like perfect my body, take my body serious. I gotta take my mind and everything else in my spirit and work on that stuff, right? But again, I said all that to say that Greg guy, he has a really good way of triggering people and tricking people into arguing with them. So now he has content. Now he can critique you. And now he's gotten the best of you mentally. I would never fall for none of that. Don't want your compliment. The minute someone like him compliments me, I'm going to go in on him. I'm going to go in on him to let him know, I know what you're doing. I don't need your compliment, your criticism. I don't need your gaze. I don't need none of that shit, bruh. I'm not doing this for you. Now, if you want to take that and try to run it and spin with it and put a bunch of words together, oh, I wonder why he has a problem with that. Nigga, I got a problem with it because I don't flow like that. You know what I'm saying? No phobic about me. I just don't need niggas like that around me. You know what I mean? I don't want no kind of fruit ball around me while I'm trying to get things done. And you got some fruit ball that's thinking, some real disgusting things in his mind while he's around you. I ain't got no problem with nobody. I just don't want it around me. Now, I don't like my off time and when I'm not at work. I don't want to deal with that. Okay? And that's how I'd shut it down. I'd have him questioning his own sexuality. I'd have him questioning why is that he feels he needs to watch me, critique me, and then get online. And I would have him wondering that. You know, I wouldn't be sitting around here letting Greg get to me through his criticism, you know, no matter how great his editors are. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Right? He's trying to trigger you. That's the way that there's a lot of content creators that do this, man. They're in different niches. Saint in the Center does this. He triggers people that get to a certain level of clout. He does it. He tries to lure you in with a bunch of videos about your content. And then if you ever react to it, he'll try his best, man, to punk you and all this other stuff and try to seem like he's more stoic than you. And like he never really done nothing to you to invoke this, even though he's made multiple videos trying to get you to react. That Greg Doucette in the bodybuilding niche, he does the same thing, right? He tries to trigger people into reacting. When they react, he makes another reaction to that. He drags it out. He makes it as theatrical as he possibly can. If you do watch that Greg guy, that voice that he has, that's not a real voice. He does something like a Michael Jackson voice just for entertainment purposes, you know. So again, if you study your enemy, I'm not saying that Greg guy's my enemy. I'm just saying, like, if you study people, and then when that same person or people like that try to, you know, do weird stuff, like trigger you into things from studying you and things of that nature, you know how to react. You know how to react. It won't be hard for you to figure it out. You'll know not to fall in the traps of people that are studying you for long periods of time, that are overly obsessed with the internet, who build their entire life off the internet. You know what I'm saying? But look, I ain't gonna hold y'all up anymore, man. It's getting a little bit late. I get in here and handle some business. Done with my walking. I have to do my weightlifting. Plus the neighbors right here walking around, man. I ain't trying to be rude. I'm just not in the mood to say hey, hi, and all that good stuff. I'm not trying to do it. You know what I mean? Not trying to do it. I'm trying to walk away from people and I have people walking up on me. Ugh. And I know the road is not mine. So instead of me just sitting out here acting like the road is, I'll just take my black ass in my house. That is mine. And make videos in my house so I ain't got nobody walking up on me. But you guys subscribe, join the tribe. Again, if people are going to get online, I got a nail. I knew I got a nail in that tire. I knew I heard something. I ain't got the air hasn't gone down in it. I got a nail on my tire. Anyway, you guys, subscribe, join the tribe, man. I'm not catching no strays. If I even have the hinkling that people are out here trying to throw shade my way, dude, I'm gonna let you know the feeling is mutual. You don't say nothing that means anything more to me than what I say to you. You don't have to agree with how I move, how I interact, how I handle people I don't like, how I call them out, who I don't act. You ain't got to worry about none of that. You ain't got to worry about none of that. You understand what I'm saying to you? Sitting around on the internet looking for content to make. Don't worry, I'll give you plenty. I'll give you plenty. Now, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, going across all 4 YouTube channels and block all of y'all. So if you pop one of my other feeds or something, the title's crazy, you might end up catching you might not catching a stray, might be catching one, period. And then I might make a reaction video to your shit just to, and I might at you. Because that's the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? I might at you. Right? So that way you feel like you can jump up in there. And if you want to come on up on my live stream and you think that you're eloquent enough to keep up with somebody that's used to speaking to people, speaking at people during live streams and in real life, come on aboard. I'm going to probably tell you to turn your camera on, coward. Right? I'm probably tell you to turn your camera on, or I might take the coward's way out and just turn my camera off. So we're both a couple cowards running our mouth. But whatever you want to do, my live stream is open for any of you idiots. You want me to drop the link, this StreamYard, I'll do it at any point in time. I know a lot of you content creators have a lot to say. If you didn't, you be doing what you do in everybody else's comment section that you jump in. Checking in, saying what's up, what's good, what's happening. Nah, you just like to watch, steal intellectual property, right? Swagger jacking, like LeBron said, because y'all do more than stealing intellectual property. You steal my look, You steal everything I have on. You try to steal my aura, my riz. You try to steal everything. You know what I'm saying? I think some of y'all are studying my laugh. Like I think you're studying my laugh. Y'all are weird as hell. I was just trained in a way to where I observe too much and y'all do too much. We can't be friends. Y'all do too much and you think you're sneaky, but you're not. And I see all of it. I was trained to pick up on patterns at the highest level. I see all of it. I just let stuff go most of the time. But then y'all just keep going and going and going. And I'm like, bro, all right, cool. Cooking you. Y'all must sit there and listen to me talk and get so frustrated. How does that feel to be that level of coward? Because whenever I get frustrated at y'all and I don't like how you talk, I get online and I say something about you. I don't do it in no innuendo-y way. I say your fucking names, man. I might not know what your real name is in real life, but your channel names, absolutely. Absolutely. You don't need for me to drop a link or a at you in my doggone title either, because most of y'all are watching my content anyway. So all you got to do is just go to my live stream whenever I'm going live and then say what you have to say in the comment section. I'll bring your dumb ass up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you stuttering and stumbling. Because unless you go live on camera, and even if you go live on camera, are you used to debating somebody with a stoic, stone cold face like mine? Trained by the military on how not to give off any facial expression to give your enemy any way of wondering or knowing how you think or feel. Come on up to my channel, man. I'm going to scare the crap out of you just by the way I'm looking. You're going to start stuttering. You're going to forget your words, right? Because you're not used to being live and debating somebody live. You're used to dropping videos and waiting on a response. Cowards. Coward way out. Because as tough as y'all act, you ain't a... I watch a live stream of somebody I know that's watching me, and then I watch and see who pops up. If I make mention of you by name, I know you watch my channel. Even if I'm mentioning you in a good light, I know you're watching my channel. So I'm studying you this. You might just be studying for intellectual property. I'm studying my enemies. I'm studying everything about you. Everything about you. How you present yourself, how you pause the video too much during a reaction, how you spend too much time talking about how you're a family channel, but you're taking just as many shady jabs at, whoever you're reacting to, just as many as anyone else. I pay attention to that. If I'm watching your video and you say somebody name that I kind of think carries themselves well, like, for example, I was watching that Dr. Thunder guy, and he's reacting to a River TV video, and River says something about the woman being overweight or needing to eat less or something. And this guy goes, "Oh, River, you're better than that. That's lowbrow." Do you know what lowbrow means? See, you niggas be just saying stuff, because I said that myself a couple times, but when I say lowbrow, I know what it means. I'm calling someone low IQ and stupid. I'm calling them low class. Do you know what lowbrow means? Will y'all start looking these terms up before you start saying them and projecting them on the people? That woman ain't done nothing to you. So you think you're some type of intellectual Dr. Thunder where you can sit there and talk about people like that? Brother, you need to get in the gym, man. Okay, you need to stop pausing your video so doggone much, man. Let them play out a little bit more. Your feedback is not that great. The only time somebody puts your podcast on more than likely is when they're getting ready to go to sleep at night. Because that's all you're really doing. You know what I'm saying? You need to change your name from Dr. Thunder to Quiet Storm. All you do is put people to sleep, man. You don't really be out here saying nothing on no level like that to be calling anybody lowbrow. You need to look up the words that you're going to say. You need to think about them before you say it. You know the definitions of these words so that you're not, maybe you want to insult her. I don't know. Maybe you're a petty old man and you want to insult that young woman. I don't know. She ain't never really done nothing to really be insulted like that. So I don't know why you did that. That's lowbrow of you. And the crazy part was, said that she did the eat less, and then he pauses the video so much to give his little dumbass input, right? Right after he unpaused it, the woman that she was talking about even said, "I eat too much." She literally said the same thing, and I know some of y'all got a problem with people saying literally. I mean the word in the sense of its definition. Okay. I mean it that way. The woman verbatim said, I probably eat too much. Because there's a video about that woman who claimed she took a dump during some carnival or whatever. That big woman, the same big woman that says that she dates nothing but doctors and whatnot. But these women get online and say whatever to go viral. Y'all need to know that. There was a white woman with glasses that got online and she said she don't wipe her butt. The same woman says she has certain STDs. They're just saying stuff to go viral. That black woman probably seen that one woman go viral for talking about she don't wipe her butt. So she thought that she'd do the same thing to go viral. So y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop with that. These people are just saying stuff and doing things to go viral. They're not really doing these things. Because then that white woman said that she had an ex-husband, and then in the video after that, she said her husband said to her that she might wipe her butt or whatever the case may be. She just goes out and it smells, and people talk about. They're just saying stuff, man. They have no shame. But what I'm saying to you is, you're not in. When I watch this dude, Thunder, talking about River, see, I study y'all. The things he said, this is a family, this is a family, blah, 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 this is a family. You're reacting to women that are saying crazy things about men and bashing men. You're in the red pill space. You even admit you're shadow banned. How family orientated can you be? You're not better than any of the rest of us. You're shadow banned just like the rest of us. So you're non-cussing. You're trying not to phrase things in a harsh way has not stopped you from getting the same treatment that we're getting. Well, I'm just better than that. That's what you really want to get across. You think you're just better than that. So you're better than people that might cuss, and you think you're better than people that address things directly. You know what I'm saying? And it might come off kind of harsh, but it's the truth. Well, sometimes the truth need to be said. Like, you need to lose some weight. For your own health, you need to lose some weight. And there's a couple things I will not do and respect. If you're not the kind of person that is pushing yourself every day to become the greatest version, and you're just out here making it seem like you're holier than thou, where's the proof? Where's the proof? You ain't doing nothing. You're not working out. You're not trying to show people how to be a better version outside of making it seem like, I don't talk about people like that. And you ain't got it in you to talk about people directly like that, bro. Leave it alone. If you're not the kind of person to have the balls enough to call people out directly, say what needs to be said without sugarcoating it, then you're just not built like that, bro. It's okay. But you're not going to sit out here and make it seem like somebody's wrong for being built like that. Tell them the honest truth about things. And you can call it whatever you want to. When you decide to criticize somebody unprovoked, you're hating. You see what I'm doing right now? I'm hating on you. Hate. Unprovoked. Well, I do think you took a couple jabs at me. I do think you've taken a couple little slight jabs, especially when I seen you take the jabs at River like you did. I'm like, oh yeah, he's petty like that. You're so above everything, but you petty. You take little petty ass jabs. You see what I'm saying? You said that shit because it sounds nice. Because you can watch somebody like River TV or somebody like me and be like, this guy, this woman. I'm not saying that they are saying something wrong, but the delivery, if they would just, who told you you're the moral compass of anything? Who told you people like you that are too cowardly to say it how it is are this moral compass, this moral authority that should be able to criticize others that speak a little bit more harshly or directly? Who are you? Who are you to even that you can criticize somebody like that? Right? We don't know what you do whenever the camera's off. We don't know how much you cuss whenever the camera's off. Right? We don't know what you be doing. And then, we can easily critique you on the weird multiple cameras you have for no freaking reason. Camera being too close to your face is like, we should know when you shaved and when you haven't shaved. And this is too much, man. Why is your face so close to the camera, bruh? I know YouTube and these social media sites want you to have your face close. I know. They want you, but damn, bruh. See the pores in your skin. Chill out. Back up a little bit. Right? But again, this is easily something that I could critique you about. That's why we got to keep our little extra thoughts to ourselves. It wasn't funny and it wasn't cute. Because if you think River was saying something when she just said the woman is eating too much and overweight, I know you got something to say about me when I be calling them straight up fat. And then that could be a reason why you had a problem with River mentioning that woman's weight. You might have a problem with her going in on that woman like that because, you know, you feel some type of way attacked because you yourself not in shape. You yourself need to go ahead and work on some things, right? I ain't gonna let you get away with that shit. Skinny people gotta stick together, man. Y'all be out here trying to shame people for just being honest. You need to put yourself in a calorie deficit. You need to get out there and do some cardio and stop sitting in your butt editing videos. There's stuff that needs to be done, man, that you people just aren't doing, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what none of y'all think. None of y'all can whoop my ass, and none of y'all come out here and even try. If you did, good luck with it. You know what I'm saying? I can guarantee you, at the least, you know, you're going to be leaving, well, absolutely leaving in an ambulance, period, point blank. Now, whether it's a body bag or, you know, you just need to get patched up, that's on you, right? But again, this is why I have to get on here and keep it real. You people are fake. You study content creators too much. You study stuff too much, but it gets you nowhere, right? You're putting all this time in editing videos and studying other content creators and trying to find topics, but you're not interesting enough to draw in the crowds of people that you should be able to at the level that your channel is at subscriber-wise. Numbers just don't be really impressing me like that for having that many subscribers, and you're not doing that much better numbers than me or someone else about my size, right? But we're all shadow banned. I get it. I'm shadow banned on 4 YouTube channels, okay? And I'm still finding a way to make myself grow, all right? So you're still doing the same. You're still growing even though you're shadow banned. You're just not interesting enough to grow like you want to. You're not trying to improve to become interesting enough. You're just taking a few pointers you see from other content creators, making that your own, but still boring as hell. Still boring as hell. You know, so call it what you want to call it. The reason why you keep coming over here too, I'm entertaining. I know how to keep the people going. Y'all know how to put people to sleep. You know, not like, you know what I'm saying, people want to be put to sleep watching a podcast, but that's all y'all really do. That's all y'all really do. I get on here and I just call it like I see it. And the best part is the people I get along with online think like me. The ones that reach out to me think like me. Their content is similar to mine. So I don't have to worry about, you know, biting my tongue or some content creator being like, watch your live stream. Did you have to go in like that? Did you? No, we're not the same. We don't belong to, you know, in the same live stream talking to each other. I'm not one of these people that like to sit back and let you get away with. Nah, man, I'm a challenge. You say anything against what I have to say on my live stream, calling yourself challenging me and I'm going to challenge everything about you that I've studied. The way you speak, whether you show yourself on camera or not, you know, how thin your fucking lips are. Are you a FBA? I know some of you tether Negroes out there that are disguising yourself as FBA. Y'all really have a problem with that. Whenever you hear someone that's trying to make fun of that term or trying to gaslight it with their goofy looking selves, Lapeef, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you hear people talking junk, I don't know these dudes' names on that show, about FBA, I want to get this out real quick before I go. They're more likely not FBA. They're more than likely not from here. More than likely their mother or their grandmother's not from here, right? There's no diversity being done whenever we see everybody else coming over to this country and talking about Black American people to get famous. So I have no problem with calling these same tethers out because these tethers be running from countries where the men over there are straight animals. I've been watching a lot of videos from India, right? A lot of India videos. If you're from India, you're a woman or a male, and you're talking about Black American people, shut your dirty ass mouth right now. Shut your ass up. Take your funky ass back to your country and help work on that motherfucker. I don't want no Indian saying not a damn thing about Black Americans. Now after the shit I've been seeing online that y'all be doing over there. That water is not holy if it's that, you know, full of bacteria and diluted. I don't know what y'all got going on, but don't y'all ever talk about Black Americans. They're not never see no Indian talk about a Black American. Are you crazy? They'll get online and say whatever, you know, basing off your ignorance of them and their culture. I'm looking up the cultures of every person online talking junk, dude. Every tether, every Amira, whatever that name is on Lapeef. I don't know what her background is, but she Arab, Indian, some type of Asian or something. I'll figure it out. I'll find someone, all of them. until I figure out which one is hers. Because I can guarantee you, whatever country she's from, the men over there are not as liberal or progressive as black men are here in America. And are you over here talking about what other countries and other people think about black Americans? Nobody cares about that. We don't care what y'all think. I don't even care what other black Americans think. You crazy? How do you think our people be able to survive as long as we are, as long as we have and thrive, if we cared that most of the rest of the world looks down on us like we're lower than them, while they copy everything we do, while they steal all our ideas, while they build countries off our backs? I ain't got time to listen to none of that shit, dude. Go tell that to somebody else don't know any better. And you tethers, I don't care whether you're a peef or not. You know, you ain't got to answer the question when they're asking you where your family's from, but I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't really think your family's from here. I don't, either that or you got allegiance to somebody that's not from here. And whenever you get online and you start trying to make this argument that we sound stupid talking about FBA, man, shut your stupid ass up. Shut your Clout. That's what that nigga name is. I knew I would remember it. Clout. Bitch, shut your goofy looking ass up. You don't sit your lisp having ass down, bro. You got a problem with people talking about being FBA? That's your fucking problem. Don't get online talking about we out. Bitch, shut your goofy ass up. Fake ass motherfucker be sitting over here wearing shades and he'll put some glasses on in the same doggone live stream. Make up your mind, you goofy, weird ass ADHD motherfucker. You worried about somebody saying something about you wearing shades? Don't wear the shades. You need the glasses instead of shades. Wear the glasses. Why are you doing wardrobe changes mid-live stream? Think your words mean something. Boy, shut up, man. Shut up, man. Y'all let him get away with too much, man. Hell with all that. You in FBA and you don't agree with it, shut your fucking mouth up. You ain't know about it. You ain't making nobody sound stupid for wanting to make sure their lineage is recognized and everyone's stealing from it. You sound like a tether, boy. Yeah, he said he's from the States, but he didn't go into detail about where his parents were from or his grandparents were from, right? He cut that off real quick and he started deflecting the conversation. I'm like, you still didn't tell us, like, you know what I mean, your lineage. At least the other dude that was on the panel said his lineage. And, you know, they obviously are people that have been in Black America for a while. All you said was, no, I'm from Black America. But you Black Americans calling yourself FBAs. It means what to you? What you worried about it for, boy? Ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't believe in that or whatever. Our issue is we have these Africans and these Caribbean chicks coming online and bashing Black American men while Jamaican men are a whole menace. You know what I'm saying? These Caribbean dudes or these people from other countries, they're a whole menace, but they're talking about Black American men. They're very specific. They don't say Black men, Black American men. And they're a whole tether. Their family ain't even from here. They escaped from where they're from and they fled, ran over here. And in order to hit the algorithm, they can't even talk about their shitty ass country. They got to talk about our shit and what we have going on because we lit like that. But then they get to sit back and act like they're better than us. Because even though we're lit, we're looked at as second-class citizens. Even though we're the ones that are the most interesting people ever, people don't look down on us, but they always want to watch us. They always want to see what we got next, what we coming out with. You know what I mean? I was watching an Asian chick. Phone's about to die, but get off here. I was watching an Asian chick twerking in a mirror, and it was just some Negro, of course, some sellout Negro, talking about how you Asians perfect everything. How can they perfect twerking? They ain't even got no buns. How is she perfecting twerking and she's copying what she studied from a Black woman? How? You need to call it for what it is. Asians are good at, you know what I'm saying, copying what they see. As far as innovation, as far as coming up with new things that are creative, that are entertaining, no. K-pop, no. You can study anything and break it down to 1, 2, and 3. Did you come up with it? Did you pull it from the ether? Stop with all that shit, bro. It matters. It matters. We're telling you it matters. And for you to say it don't matter, you sound weird. You already look like you might not completely be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something about that nigga face. It's just like you might not be, but then to sit there and just have a huge problem when people are talking about FBA. Man, if you don't like it, why are you even being bothered with it? Why do you have anything to do with it? Y'all probably wondering why I'm jumping different subjects. I gotta chop this video up. It can't be one subject the whole video. It seems like it's just a bunch of clips of the same video. I gotta make it seem like it's a whole different video, y'all. Reposting this. Keep up with me. Keep up with me. You know? So, I'm just gonna put that out there real quick, man. Cause us FBA people, we serious about that. Y'all think it's some kind of goofy game. You think it's some kind of goofy game. We're not playing about that, bro. I don't know where your people are from. You probably some goofy Jamaican descendant or something like that. Right? I like Alyssa or whatever. Alyssa, but she's coming through on the piece. They gotta have some real ones on there. And Hink be coming through too. But these people that be on there, y'all, since y'all might be watching my content, man, listen, if they got a problem with that FBA term and they're claiming it, nah, that ain't good enough. Don't let them just say, nah, I'm from Mississippi. Now what? Where's your grandmother from, you bitch ass nigga? Don't sit there and posture after you said you from Mississippi. You ain't gave no detail. You smart mouth, dumbass. Niggas be swearing up and down. They so motherfucking smart. You have a problem with that because you must not be from here like that. You can't be from. I ain't never heard of FBA having a problem with that unless he's getting money or getting paid to have a problem with it. Most of the time, that's tethers that got a problem with us calling it out because it's hard for them to assimilate into America and seem like American black people whenever we're bringing attention to the fact that all black people in America are not the same. So now these tethers, they know that white folks and other people might start asking them the same questions like, are you a black American? What it does is it discredits all of the black African American hate that comes from some stranger that has this bias towards us, an outsider looking in. So don't think that you guys are getting away with that. See, we like to say that FBA thing to see how you react to it. And we all start glitching out and, oh, you one of them? Yeah, we one of them. And you one of them. And you one of them. Not like us. And I don't hear no diaspora stuff. You niggas don't do nothing for black American people. Black Americans go to Africa for the most part, get hustled over there by y'all. Y'all come over here and you think it's patriotic to hate on black people and talk shit about black people. And then you people will sit there online and say, us as black people, and then go home and say, them niggas. It's us online, but it's them whenever you get home and around your people. And I am tired of y'all doing that, man. We're no longer letting you get away with it. So you can tether talk all you want to, right? Tether talk your way into thinking you said something. But when you have a problem with someone acknowledging their lineage, when you goofies love to throw it in our face whenever you can, whenever it's trending, I'm Jamaican. I'm Caribbean. I ain't no nigga. That's what y'all love to do. Do it all the time. But when it's cool to be a black American, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? We all. But when it's not cool, we in the news, I ain't one of them. I ain't from here. My family ain't from here. Don't confuse me with those people. We got to call you out. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And y'all got to know that black American people are not playing with y'all no more. You getting called out. I'm catching no strays. I don't care what none of y'all think. I don't care what none of y'all want to say. Most of you people are not good at articulating yourself. You know what I'm saying? And most of you haters are watching too much content. Just watching too much content, man. So listen, 2 hours almost. Ah, man, these clips are going to be great. What else can I speak about real quick before I go? What else I have on my mind? That's 4 different videos. I can't really think of nothing, but you guys stay, and that ambulance coming down this way. I don't know what that. You guys stay in the gym, okay? Keep doing workouts. Keep running. Keep doing your cardio. Fellas, being fit. If you look at the women and I'm talking online, your fitness is, I'm not going to say everything, but your attractiveness to women, let's say it, attractiveness is more important than anything else besides money. You thought I was going to say everything. No. Money is always number one. Money is always number one. Okay? Money is always, but your attractiveness matters. And I say that because If you're attractive enough to a woman, you can get the same access to those women as those rich guys with money can. You get the same access to those women as guys with clout, right? So get your attractiveness level up. Don't be concerned about being a pretty dude. You've already heard women say they don't want pretty men. They want medium ugly in the face. So if you just get real fit, don't even worry about your face card. Just take care of your skin and grow a beard if you can and leave it at that. Just get fit. I'm seeing a lot of videos online of women that are talking about the attractiveness is the most important thing. And these are attractive women. I wouldn't be saying nothing if they weren't. These are attractive women, you know, content creators saying that, hey, your attractiveness matters. It really does. And again, you're rich, you have money and clout, you will get the coochie, but you won't get the same coochie as that guy that she finds extremely attractive. It's not going to be the same, right? And some of y'all don't care. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But if you're attractive and you're not super rich already, you know, you can use that level of attractiveness and some charisma. And again, get women, get plenty of women, be able to talk to a woman way better than some rich guy with money who never had to learn how to talk to women, right? I'm not telling you to approach women whatsoever. I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to get online and tell you to do something that I'm not doing, because the same people telling you to approach women, they're not approaching women. Some of these people are married and they're telling you to approach women with as dangerous as it is out here, how they can mess your whole life up if you're not attractive enough to them and they say you harass them or whatever, right? Don't approach them, but just get yourself in shape, man, and put yourself in the best place possible for you to be around a lot of women, or in the best place where women don't mind approaching you, meaning moving countries, because that's nowhere in the States. That's nowhere in the States. So your attractiveness, put this one back up. Your attractiveness to women is everything, man. And you need to work on that. And the quickest way to doing that is fitness. Get yourself a good workout routine. Get yourself a good diet. Get yourself a personal trainer if you can, or hire one of these own that are giving out meal plans and, you know, personal uh, uh, um, you know, schedules, meal schedules, fasting schedules, different kind, all that kind of stuff, and also training schedules. Right, get yourself in shape, because not only will you feel better and you know that you're the man, but you're going to attract more women. You're going to attract more women when you're physically fit, and your physical presence demands a certain type of respect and authority, to where you don't have a bunch of dudes like thinking that it's just sweet to just try to start stuff with you and say your name directly. When you can get online, or you do what you have to do, and people know to watch, don't go too far. And if they're going to go too far, really be ready to commit to it. Because a lot of people, they like easy prey, and people like to move on quick. I don't move on for nothing. I'm not going to move on from nothing. We're going to go back and forth making videos until one of us crack. Right? That's what's going to happen. You can have the greatest production team in the world. I'm an engineer. I'll figure it out. If you start dropping better videos than me, bashing me, I'm going to study your videos and then drop better videos than you, using your own techniques. Whatever you can do, I can learn it. I can learn anything. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be really careful out here. And they know this. That's why a lot of them don't even, you know what I'm saying? They don't like me, but they don't want to mention my name. They'll say, I don't want to give them clout. It ain't because you want to give me clout. You don't want that kind of heat. You really don't. You really don't. You don't know what I'm going to do. I'm unpredictable. You don't know how far I'll go. You don't know to the length I'll do it. You know I ain't got nothing to lose. I work for myself. You can't get me fired from no job. You can try to embarrass me on the internet, but I know it's not real, right? I don't respect none of y'all. I don't respect none of your opinions. You people don't pay none of my bills. You mean nothing to me. So how can you really get to me like you think you can? You can't. That's why you got to sit back and just let me run my mouth. A lot of you might try to wait till I'm a little bit bigger, but that's gonna be a real dumb thing to do, man. If you are not, you have the balls enough to try to get at me now, the more money I have, the more I'm gonna put into my videos and my production and outsourcing things. So the bigger I get, the more time I'll spend on cooking your ass up in creative different ways. I'm just gonna do it, right? Listen, get in shape. Have a serious demanding presence to where when a nigga thinking about doing something, like he's building the courage, it takes him a long time to build it, because he's looking at you and he's like, ugh, and he's getting more, and it takes him a while to build it. You want to strike fear in their heart like that. Let them take a while if they're going to finally build up enough nerve to come after you, right? And then when they do, you don't react automatically. You let that shit marinate. You know what I mean? And then when at least expect it, boy, non-stop cook action. You know, setting them videos up on schedule. You know what I mean? So again, I don't respect any of you people that are hating on me. I don't like you. I don't like your face. I don't like your voice. I don't like how you move. I don't like how you edit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how you interact with other people. I don't like how you breathe. I don't like how you eat. I don't like you whatsoever. Right? So don't sit there and think that, oh, he's a goody goody. He loves everybody. I love those that love me. If you don't like me and you hate me, I don't hate you. You know, but you mean nothing to me. Your opinion, your life, it means nothing to me. So while you're sitting here thinking that you're just throwing jabs online, no, man. You make enemies with the worst type of person, bro. The worst type of person, because you can't trigger me. You can motivate me. You can motivate me to cook your ass up more, but you can't trigger me. You can't piss me off, and you damn sure can't beat me. You're just going to do some nigga talk online. Some tough nigga talk. Do what you got to do to make yourself feel better. Help you sleep at night, nigga. Right? The internet is a coward's playground. Coward's playground. Where the weak and timid can act tough and strong. Right? Y'all big time bosses, right? In real life, though, you wouldn't bust a grape. You ain't going to raise your voice or nothing. Or fly on the wall. Get up out of here, man. Get up out of here, bro. Y'all ain't fooling nobody. Nothing more I like than getting online and bullying y'all either. I love it, man. Y'all act just like them weak ass nerds in school. They used to get bullied all the time, right? Just bully you. Ain't even be mean. Ain't even trying to. You guys just you internalize everything. But again, you guys smash that like button and subscribe, man. Join the tribe. I'm gonna get in here and do insanity, lift some weights. I might get on TikTok and work out a little bit, get the ladies turned on over there, and then I'll jump back on here, man, and we'll chop it up, show my face in an actual video. Again, I don't normally take this coward way out of not showing my face, but I'm kind of trolling faceless people and faceless channels. It's kind of like a troll. Part of the reason why I was acting all more bold, big and bad during this situation, to show you how bold you can come across when you're not showing your face on camera, right? How easy it is to get on here and babble for 2 hours without showing my face. You don't show your face because you know everybody critiques you when you show your face. They pick you apart. Content creators and other people online pick you apart when you show your face. They're looking for every imperfection, anything where if your eyes, one eye is bigger than the other, anything, you know, where your mouth moves funny or anything like that, too much makeup, you know, fake eyelashes, if the women's wigs aren't right or the hair's not right, they're getting critiqued. That's why you don't want to show your face. Because it's so much easier to get on here and babble and run your mouth and not have no one be able to criticize anything but the words you say. They can't even go after the messenger. You won't even show yourself. And again, I got to tell you, I personally believe and know that no man's words are worth listening to if he's not willing to show his face. That's not how God moves. So for you guys who they're not claiming to be that godly or whatever, not a big deal, right? If you guys are the faces that aren't talking shit, not a big deal. But if you are online throwing jabs on a regular basis and you are a faceless dude, and then you bringing up God and Allah and all this, that stopped at the door when you decided to be a coward and get online and run your mouth. You want to get online and be all bold and bad and, with your chest out, when you need to take some of that bass out of your voice so that they can be in alignment with the level of your facelessness. You people have to be called out because y'all sit online and you sit. I wouldn't call you out if you weren't trying to call me out. But how the hell you gonna call me out? You don't even show your face on camera. How you gonna take jabs at me? And I'm man enough to raise my kid by myself. I ain't ran away from this country years ago. I waited and did my best until it got to the point where it's too bad. And I ain't been gone for years to a decade from this country and still babbling and whining about the women of this country. That don't make no sense. When I'm in Thailand, I'm not going to be talking too much about American women because at that point, I'm just hating. I'm going to talk about Thailand and other women and stuff like that. I'll do reaction videos, of course, but I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let the videos speak for themselves. I'll say one or two words right after it and keep it trucking. I ain't got nothing against American women if I'm in another country that I chose to be in. How can I have a problem with them? I done moved on. I ain't even really got a problem with them now, knowing I'm going to be in Thailand in a month or so. So why I'm not going to sit here whine about them. They are what they are. They don't need to change. They can be who they are. I'm just not going to be here for them. I'm not going to allow them to think they're settling for a guy of my level because I'm not 6 foot. I'm not going to allow them to act like they're settling for me because I'm not a millionaire. You don't get yourself a good guy at a discount because you've made these impossible, unrealistic expectations that you project onto him that are all based off of social media and what your homegirls say that you're worth, when you know that you ain't worth all that and you know that height ain't that serious to you. It is not that serious to you, but then y'all online talking the crazy way y'all do. Nah, I'm good. I'm just going overseas. I have no malice towards y'all American women. Y'all have worked hard. You've gotten yourself into a place where you are the men that you've always wanted. Congratulations to you. You make the money, of the men that you want. Some of you hoes out there look like the men that you want. Got that strong jaw, got the Adam's apple going on, and then you're contouring your face so you look more like a man. So you looking like a man. Some of y'all out here trying to talk all heavy in the voice. You sound like a man. You move like a man. So congratulations. You are the men you want, but nobody wants you. No real man wants to be with a woman that's acting like a man. Ain't nobody want to be that, right? So instead of me just sitting here saying that these women are so insecure and they think that being a woman is so weak, and they've allowed Disney, all this different propaganda to make them feel like it's a woman's job to consistently nag and critique men and check men and hold men accountable, when nowhere in history has it ever been a bitch's job to do any of that. It's never been your job to do any of that. You are not to be on no one's council unless somebody feels like you are worthy to be on it. 9 times out of 10, though, a man's going to go to level-headed men about serious things that's going to be on his council. Okay? Now, if he wants to know what the spiritual meaning of a butterfly or a ladybug landing on his finger, then he'll come to your goofy ass, right? Then he'll come to your goofy ass and you can explain to him what a ladybug landing on his finger means spiritually. He can walk away with knowing she's full of shit, or feel like he learned something. Either way it goes, right? Either way it goes. So when y'all get online and you take what we say and you reverse it, right? Which I'm making more videos on this series where modern women are regurgitating what red pillars are saying and what masculine men are saying, right? Wow. Damn, dude. Did you just learn how to drive a truck today? Changing gears rough. But yeah, these women, man, they get online and they regurgitate what they hear men saying. Like, I'm even hearing women say, you can't listen to what a man says. You have to watch what he does. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Y'all done gone too far, man. Because that right there, I brought that to the internet. I brought that to the internet. And now y'all are out here regurgitating. See, when you pay attention, you can figure everything out. So you dudes out here, you're acting dumb. You have low IQ females that are regurgitating stuff that men say, and they're reversing the gender role and throwing it back at you. And you're arguing with them about it. You're arguing with yourself. You're arguing. They are so dumb, they can't even come up with nothing. They got to get other people to pander to them and other people to fight for them online. Oh, y'all got to stop making fun of women. Leave them alone. Y'all too hard on women. Bitch ass white boy is going to try to smog me. Sometimes you just got to give him that mean mug. I seen you trying to drop that smog from a distance, white boy. Nah. I'm outside. Just stared at that nigga. He let his foot off that damn gas. Try to smog me. I'm gonna smog that nigga. No, you're not. I see you coming. I see that fucking smog behind you. Don't do it. Won't do it. But yeah, I'm just being real. I'm not gonna argue with y'all. I'm not gonna let y'all see. Y'all aren't even. When I first got on here, I didn't know that women were regurgitating things that men said. So when I got on here, I thought they had their own talking points. I've been doing this content thing for over a year, going on 2 years. So now I'm seeing these women saying the things that we've said, things that I've started. I'm like, wait a minute, I started that. And then of course everybody been saying it, like, they watch what they do. But I'm the first one to bring that to the internet. I never heard nobody say it on the internet. And honestly, in real life, I hadn't heard too many people say it either. That's why I say it all the time. So when I brought it to the internet and it spread like wildfire, of course it would. But I'm hearing women saying it now. Women don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. You dumbass motherfuckers supposed to have been doing that. But you're not going to. You got to pay attention to what they say. You need to be watching what no man is doing. He could be faking everything in front of you. You have to listen to what he's saying and what he's not saying. You're supposed to listen to what he's saying. Not get wooed by what he's saying or not listen to what he's saying. You're supposed to. I'm going to update that. Because with women, you got to listen to what they say. They telling themselves when they say certain things, right? So when she's lying to you, you ain't got to listen to the way she's trying to phrase it, but you still got to listen to her. I'm going to change it. We got to listen to what they say and watch what they do. You got to listen to what they say and watch what they do. I'll go ahead and refine that a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You hear people saying the same shit here in a little bit. But you got to listen to what they say and watch what they do. You know what I'm saying? And in that way, when you're listening to them, you got to read between the lines. So you got to read between the lines of what they say and watch what they do. You can't take them verbatim of what the point they're trying to get across to you. You got to reverse engineer it and figure out, what they're not saying to you. And figure out their motive. That's what women and with men. So for a woman to say you can't listen to what they say, you got to watch what they do. Ain't no man gonna let you watch what he does. You can't sit there and say you can't listen to what they say. So you're trying that you think you have the ability to read between lines on a man. If y'all had that ability, you wouldn't have so many kids out of wedlock with pookies. If that was the case, you wouldn't have kids. You wouldn't have a child with a man who already has 2 or 3 different baby mamas. You're not listening to what no one says. You're listening to what you want to hear him say. You're not listening to him. And you can't watch what a man does. Men think before they speak to y'all. Y'all the ones that get online and rattle stuff off because you think it sounds nice. And you got somebody saying, yeah, girl, a man's going to think everything he says through no matter what. So every one of these content creators is taking jabs at me or whatnot. They thought that through before they got online. That's why I don't have no mercy for them. They thought that through before they got online. And they still chose to do it. They're a man like me. I know they did. So I have no mercy on them. I go at them ruthlessly. Women don't think before they act. They don't think before they speak. When you're regurgitating stuff like y'all do, it's hard to think while you're trying to remember what you heard. So one has to go. It's got to be original thought or you're going to be regurgitating. Well, if you're regurgitating, you're not able to watch what you're saying. You're just piecing things together that you heard because you think it sounds nice. And you're not clever enough to think of nothing on your own to articulate yourself and how you feel and how you think. Well, the problem with that is if I hear you regurgitating something I heard a man come up with, I know you're an idiot. I know you have no thought in your mind. So if I ask you something that I know that no one is really asking women online, you're going to glitch out. You're going to stall for time by asking me to repeat it or hoping someone else interferes to give you time to think of an answer, but it's not going to matter because you can stall all day. I'm going to ask you something that's going to take an immense amount of thought to give me an answer to. And I'm going to make you look as stupid as you are. Because if you were as clever as you are to bounce off all these regurgitated ideologies and ways of speaking that you've heard men say, like a used car salesman speed talking, then you should be able to think that quickly to respond to something that you've never heard of before. If I ask you something you've never heard of before, you should still be able to quickly respond and be just as quick-witted as you are whenever you're asked something that you've heard a million times online. See, what y'all do a lot is you study the men that you know that are smart. So that way you always have something to retaliate against any man that asks you any question, right? You can just fire off this retaliation because you've studied Negroes online that speak in the same way that other podcasters speak. So you can go on a podcast, you can study me, and you can know how to respond to most of what these guys are asking you on podcasts. Because a lot of times they're asking you the same questions that I'm saying on my podcast. They're saying the same thing that somebody else said on their podcast, right? So you're online anticipating. That's why a lot of times they cut guys off before they finish their sentence because they've already heard that question being asked. You have to frame it in a way that women have not heard before. So when they cut you off, you can be like, that's not what I was going to say. I know you thought you knew what I was going to say based off of everybody else you studied and how many times but that's not what I was going to say. Can I finish? Is that okay with you? And even if you were going to say what she was going to say, you can change it. Because she just gave herself away. She thought she could cut you off and shut you up instead of giving you the time to finish your sentence, right? That's what you got to do. You can move the goalpost too. You got to do it like women do and do it in the middle of a thought, but you can definitely do it when she thinks that she's done figured out what you're going to say next. They don't come up with original thought, bro. When these guys are asking some original thought shit that I ain't never heard of before, the women have no answer. And most of the time, they'll disagree with the guy. Most of the time, they'll be like, because they have no response to it and they know it makes too much sense. So they'll either change the subject altogether, they'll say they don't want to answer, or they'll agree with them. They won't be bickering with them. They won't be arguing with them. They don't have nothing to say. They don't think on their feet like that. They do not think on their feet like that, dude. They don't. Every time when these women say something on these channels, it's always something I've already heard before. It's never nothing new. It's always the same thing I've already heard. Like, oh man, it's the same shit. And they get on here and they just keep saying this stuff over and over and over. So for guys to keep getting checked by these women online is weird because they're not saying nothing new. They're not bringing nothing up that's challenging that you ain't never heard of before. Most of the stuff they're regurgitating that a man already said. Not hard to figure y'all out, man. It's really not. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's how I would move. I'm not going to let you just be able to rattle off a bunch of regurgitated answers. I'm ask you something new. Period. The women come over to my channel because I bring up new stuff. That way they have something to say to anybody. But I'm moving to Thailand or somewhere overseas. Let me stop saying that because there's a lot of stuff going on in Thailand. And I don't know what's going on over there and who's making it happen. But I'm moving overseas. Somewhere in Asia, maybe Vietnam. Right? Seen passport, international passport. Say something about Vietnam. Might be doing something like that. Might go to Japan. China, something like that. But I'm leaving here is what I'm saying. I'm leaving here. And that way I'm not complaining about grown ass women that are not going to change. You're going to sit here and complain about women to where the new generation of woman is worse than the old generation because she's a master regurgitator. She's taken on the slight and plight of every woman before her with her dead eyes and don't have no life experience to back up what she's saying. How can you trust a female that's taken on the plight of the women before her because she really don't have nothing to complain about? But she doesn't want to be a good woman. She wants to be a bigger hoe than the rest of them. So they start looking up different narcissists, this, and the older women talking about these men ain't this, and these men are going to just cheat on you anyway. And you have a whole 21, 22, 23-year-old talking the same way as a 45-year-old woman, and you know that 23-year-old hoe don't have as much life experience as that 40-something-year-old woman, but saying the same thing. And if she does have that kind of life experience, she ain't worth a shit at that age. Right? But they don't care. Those are these Gen Z chicks don't want to work. They're garbage. They're always getting hurt because they choose bad men. And some of them are femcells not even getting men. But they study enough online to get online, regurgitate certain things to go viral, and then they eat off that money that they make from the views and it being monetized. They don't care who they trigger. They don't care that they're not helping anything as far as the divide between men and women. They don't care that they're kind of important as far as influencing Gen Alpha coming after them. They're fucked. Of course, they're trash. They're fucked. That generation's fucked. But that don't mean that Generation Alpha has to be that comes after them. And it is a lot to blame on to the older women too for being so jaded and pushing this kind of stuff out and then supporting it amongst each other with the sisterhood, because now the younger generation of women think that they got to outdo those women to get the same support from that same sisterhood. They got to outdo you. They got to outplight you. They got to bring up statistics and different things they've Googled and watched on YouTube to make it seem like they know more than you about the struggle. It's dumb. It's so dumb. And there's nothing that we can do about it. That's why I'm just going to go overseas. It cannot be fixed in this generation. They have to see the suffering of this generation for the next generations, and the older generation to be like, nah, I don't want to be. Because this Xennial generation of women, they've already made up such a bad name for themselves. It's almost impossible for them to recover. They got their generation of men chasing down women our age because they done ran those dudes from them. And we don't want nothing to do with you when the guys of your own age aren't even trying to lay with you. They ain't even trying to smash you. They're going to getting our leftovers and sloppy seconds. They don't even want to deal with y'all. They know y'all are fucked. And if the men of your own generation don't want you, I don't want you. I don't want you. You talk too much. And it ain't every single woman. I do see a few Xennials out there that's posting up content, but that's very few and in between. And there needs to be more of these women coming out the woodwork to support, the idea of men are not the enemy. You don't need to get online and man bash to go viral, because they're seeing consistent flows of younger women with dead eyes saying whatever they got to say to go viral is getting on my nerves. You got women talking about taking poops on top of graves at carnivals to go viral. I'm not saying women, Xennials. You got Xennials out here. What's the other woman doing? Oh, talking about she don't wipe her butt and she got a kid and she be out and people can smell it. Saying whatever needs to be said to go viral. They don't care. They have no decency. I was watching a video of a dude asking 2 or 3 women when they fart. This is something I brought up a long time ago on my channel. I already said this. When women are sitting down and they fart, it rolls into their cooch. You think there's only one way it could go. It rolls into their cooch. So he's asking them the same question, right? And they said, yes, it does. And they were going into detail about what it does. It just sits in there sometimes, and if you don't get up, and I'm like, we have no decency left. There's no decency amongst this new generation of women. There is no decency. And they talk so much stuff. Again, got to make reference. I was watching Lapeef, and that Danielle chick on there was talking to men almost old enough to be her father as if they were her students or her children. And she kept saying, I have to hold you accountable. You don't have to do nothing. And you shouldn't be so disrespectful to try to hold grown men 40 and up that are maintaining their families and married, thinking that you can hold them accountable because you don't like what they're saying and you think that you've poked holes in their arguments. No, Zennial, you've been studying men online and just looking to react and respond. You're not trying to fix nothing or find any solutions. And the solution always is, men need to do more and men need to listen to women. And listen, let me tell you something. Because those guys on that show, they're so nice to y'all. Those are like the nicest. These panel dudes are the nicest dudes you're gonna run across. Because the rest of us out here are straight savage. You ain't got no business talking about a man needs to come to a woman for guidance and advice. A man needs to listen to a woman. Y'all have ruined dating. You've gotten out here and become the men that you want, and we don't want your product. And now you're blaming it on us. You're blaming, I can't believe how they blame black men and all this community crap. Remember I told you about community? Another way to shame your black ass. That's all that it's for. Community talk is another way for black people of America you have no blood relation to tell you that or try to tell you about yourself. That's why I don't let you put that community on me. You don't get to talk about me. You don't get to critique me because we're both black. White folks don't do stuff like that. They don't be hollering about community and I can critique because I got to make sure that black men are doing. No. We will never hear white people talk like that. If they go at another white person, they just go at them. It ain't about, well, I got to check the white male community because some of these white, they don't do that, man. They don't do that. I don't want to hear y'all talking about this community stuff and it only comes up when it's time to check black men about something. Tell black men about themselves. Humble black men. It's going to be community, humble black man, humble black man, humble black man. Well, the community, check black man, check black man, check black man. You know what I'm saying? Fill in the blanks with whatever words you want. Blaming the black man that has nothing to do with you for you having kids out of wedlock. Saying that black men are running around having a bunch of kids out of wedlock is a lie. It's disingenuous. The majority of black men, 54% or 52%, have no kids. Okay? And a lot of y'all are out here having kids with the same guy that already has 2 and 3 kids already. You can't blame us for the fact that you are low vibrational, trashy, ratchet females. In some kind of way in the black culture, it's not some kind of way. In the black culture, they want us to always have our worst versions of ourselves out in the forefront like they represent all of us. So when you goofy, low IQ, disgusting idiots get on these panels and you say the most vile, disgusting things towards men, and you look the way you look with your fake ass weaves and your fake ass baby hairs, your fake ass eyelashes, your waist trainers busting out of your clothes, looking like if you breathe the wrong way, it's about to all pop off. And then you get online and you critique black men. You're not even giving us a good product to want to have. What you're able to do is you're able to get online and air out your grievances without doing any work on yourselves. You get to get online and air out your grievances without doing any work on yourselves. The algorithm, they reward you for bashing and blaming black men for your own shortcomings. You don't want to take responsibility. I seen a big black woman on a show talking about how black women are gaining weight because of racism. Black women are big because of racism. Because the diets the food in America apparently is more catered and is made for white women and that have money. And when you're a black person of poverty, apparently, right, it's forcing you to eat things that you shouldn't. Therefore, racism is what? What? Can you just stop eating? Can you just stop eating junk in such large amounts? It's always somebody else's fault. It's only hey, what's going on, fam? What's going on? Get the comments up here. I know we had somebody up in here finally talking. Some of the Soul Tribe showing up. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all smash the like button. We got going on here. Chuck will get away with. Backbiting anytime there's some event, especially these single events for Black women. They can never let it go. Bro, you're right. Let's talk about that for a little bit too. Okay. For all you preachers out there, because I just got a video about this preacher that told them to lock the doors. You know what I'm saying? Lock the doors. I need $40,000 tonight. If you don't think that we know what you're paid to do and what you're paid to not say, and how you make sure that your church stays full by pandering to women and telling them what they want to hear, that's why you have no men in the church. And then when the men don't show up, you still try to crucify the men when you know the women of the church are masculine, overweight, and not worth a man going. Because why would a man go in a church and listen to you bash men all day? I don't go because I don't go to church. I'm gonna call you out. I'm not gonna sit in a pew and let you bash single men. I'm gonna get up and start talking. God is not talking through you at that moment. You no longer are a vessel of God. And maybe God needs somebody else to be the vessel of God in that church. You ain't gonna whoop me. The only thing you're gonna do is have me removed. And maybe somebody in that church need to see a strong Black man standing up to somebody, give him a shakedown. You be sitting up in there using Black men to pander these stinking ass women, and half of these doggone preachers be lusting after these women if they straight. And then church folks, like you said, you know, anytime they host any singles event, it's always, what does BGS say? It's always Jermaine's fault. Always. This shit is getting old. I'm telling you, dude. There is no such thing as a single event for a man. The single event thing was a cheat code for women who have money, who are making decent money, to think that they are in a place in their life where they can skip doing the normal, thing of going out, meeting somebody. No, we're above that. We want to go to a place where there are men that have already been vetted to supposedly qualify for us, and then have them hand served to us. Lazy motherfuckers. And then turn down every man that approached them out in the public or DM them. Because especially Black women, they love to go, they want to fly somewhere and seem important no matter what. And they love to go to these events to look for Black men. They love to go to these events to look for Black men. Instead of talking to the Black men that are around them, that are in proximity of them, they don't want that. They want to be able to go somewhere and meet a group of Black men that don't know nothing about them or their social media, like a tech event, right? Or some third space. You're hearing Black women online all the time. They were really leaning on these third spaces to find men. They can't just go out in public and be nice enough to allow themselves to get numbers from men that they qualify for and on the same level of. No, they have to put themselves in events like tech events. It's a cheat code for them to get to IT guys. Why they want IT guys? Because they looked up the stats. And they know that IT guys make pretty decent money to a lot of money with almost endless potential, right? They get to work from home, work remotely, maintain their jobs. These Black women have looked into this stuff. So they'll go to a tech conference to go find themselves a cleanup guy. Hopefully somebody that'll take care of her in her late age of her early 30s, because we know that, get close to menopause and, I'm saying, all that good stuff, right? So she wants to find some sucker simp guy that ain't never had a woman that looks like her. Or these women also think that these tech guys are nerdy and kind of shy, and they think they can bully these guys into a relationship, like be really charismatic and over the top. And it don't work out like that. You're just not attractive like that. And the fact that you can't just go out in public and meet guys, you got to have events set up so you can feel special. And like you're going to see a higher echelon of man at this event that you can't see out in the public. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's very strange. And these same women that go to these events, brothers, these are the same women that get online and bash men all day long. That's why they got to go to these events. They can't go out in the public. Some of these guys will recognize them. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they're mad all the time. When they can set up an event or know there's an event coming up in so many months, they can get in shape. They can work on their fucked up personalities, and they can act like they're halfway decent at that event. You see them online doing the same stuff. You see women that have crashed out plenty of times on different panels, and then now that men are speaking a certain way, they're trying to act all prissy and prim, and you ain't like that. We done seen you talk all kind of ways of men. You ain't like that. You ain't like that. You just finally looked at yourself online and you realized you look bad. You're making yourself look bad. So I don't trust anything that they're saying or what they're doing. The single spaces that, like when women get online and they say, I'm going to Home Depot. Women get online and say, go to the gym, but go to the gym during these hours, because during these hours are when productive masculine men go. I go to the gym any time of the day, as long as I can get 2 sessions in. Okay. So it might be 1 a.m. and then turn right back around and go at 10 a.m. when I get up. It might be 1 a.m. and then again, it might be at 12 p.m. So to sit there and say that the time that men go to the gym dictates the level of man he is very dumb and low IQ. It's very dumb. This is why y'all keep losing men and you don't know where to go for men. None of that makes any sense. What are you talking about? A real man getting it out the mud, bro. For you funky ass females, man, my mattress, you know that desk you see me sitting at? Man, my mattress is up against the wall, man, in the living room. I don't even go in my bedroom. I took it off the box spring in the bed frame. I got to get to work. I go right to work as soon as I get up, brush my teeth and shower, start doing insanity. I'm not going to tell you my routines because I don't know one copy of my shit. I get right to work. You know what I'm saying? I really don't understand how you females are moving out here. You don't know how to look for a good man, but you'll watch good men like me online, but then you'll hate watch me too. You'll want to take certain character traits from me, but you can't do that. A man is a man. You got to the good with what you consider the bad. And until you grow up and realize that that bad ain't bad, it's just your insecurities, and he's making you feel some type of way about him because you need to change and grow. So he's over here, causing you to feel like you need to grow, but you don't want to. People hate change, and it triggers you. And you think those are bad qualities because you've never been around a real man to know how a man moves. Your daddy wasn't around. The niggas you fuck with don't stick around. You don't know how to talk to nobody. So you don't know how a real man moves when he cares about you. You know how a real man makes you grow, whether he's doing it, directly through instruction to you, or just his energy and the way he moves makes you want to be a better woman. Y'all just don't know, man. And y'all be online talking crazy, and you think you can hack the system. Okay, so I can't get these guys online that I find attractive, right? I can't get the podcasters. So I'll just bash these podcasters because I'm super sensitive and they're attractive to me, but I don't like what they're saying. But I'll go to a singles event somewhere or a tech conference and get me a man. I don't need you niggas. I don't need y'all to think that y'all all that. Where's your man? Where's the tech guy that you fooled into being with you? Where's your man? Okay? And you're right, brother. What are y'all doing going to tech events to get men? That's not what they're for. I'm so glad you brought that up. The men are out there networking and doing what's needed to be done to become greater versions of themselves. And y'all are just crashing the party. They study everything we do. You can't date someone you're studying. They study where we go, how we move. Bro, when you're a content creator like me and used to work for the White House and you're an engineer, I can damn near figure out what video these women are referencing from what guy said it, from the way they're speaking online and how their feelings are hurt. And when they say certain things like all these podcasters, and when they say what the podcaster said, I can damn near point out which podcaster said that. They're watching us that much. They have no man. And no matter how much they say they're decentering men, the more that they claim to decenter us, the more they center us. The decentering of anything means you're putting more attention towards it. Therefore, you are centering it more. Men don't sit up here talking about decentering women. That's idiotic. That's an oxymoron. How are you going to decenter something? That means you're going to focus more on that thing to make sure that you avoid it. We just ignore y'all and just go about our business and do what we're going to do. We don't decenter nothing. We're always going to be chasing pussy. Like, what are you talking about? We're always going to like women. What are you talking about? There ain't no other option. But what we can do is just slow down on giving y'all the illusion that you're as great as what you think you are. Talking stupid about decentering and da. That's just a broken, wounded person that doesn't know how to keep their emotional feelings to themselves, and they have to find a way to phrase things in a way to where they don't seem like an emotional broken person and blame everything else on someone else as if, all men are a problem and we all need to be decentered. What are you talking about? The only way to decenter us would be to stop talking about us and stop messing with us. But you don't. You get yourself a maintenance pookie, and then you go look for a boyfriend through whatever singles event or tech conference you can get yourself your hands on, while getting online acting like you're big, bold, and bad, and you don't need no man, and you can just talk bad about men. You're only talking about men because you don't have a man. You're only talking bad about men because you don't have a man. That's the only reason why you're talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's the only reason why it bothers you, because the guys that you would want to approach you, we don't approach no more. So now you got to put some work in. Fellas, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Continue doing what you're doing. They're going to eventually feel this pressure more. Like I predicted, I do believe that these women will end up having to share men openly just to have a good quality, high value type of dude. Right? They're gonna have to share us because they put themselves in such a corner to where we're not going to give them any leeway on anything. You know what I mean? And if they have ever talked crazy and reckless about men, we're going to hold them accountable. So they're going to have no option but to openly share men. All this tough talk stuff they've been doing is going right out the window. It's going right out the window. So again, for the women out there, stop studying us. Stop letting the internet cause you to keep you single. Like, stop studying us. Go find something else to do. The studying of us is not getting you anywhere. You study the crap out of us. I'll have some goofy internet hoe talking like, yeah, these podcasters are saying this and saying that. I'm like, I said that. I've heard other guys say it too, but I've said that too. Are you watching me too? Hate watching me? Nah, bro, y'all got to be held accountable, man. And these guys in these panels never hold you accountable. When y'all say, oh, I hear guys on these podcasts saying, woo, 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 what guys? What podcasts? You shouldn't be able to just say vague things anymore and get to broadly generalize most men based off the guys that you won't stop watching, that you obsess over and find attractive. And then broad stroke all men about it. What podcast? What panel? Who are you obsessed with? You don't want to tell us the names of these people because you know that if we look into the guy and if he's kind of handsome, then we know that you watch him because he's handsome, which is letting us know that we're right when we say that y'all watch the men you find attractive. You study the men you find attractive. So y'all think what you're doing is you think that, and I'm taking a wild guess here, in my opinion, that if you study these guys you find attractive, you can cherry pick the qualities about that man you find attractive. And because he says things and does things that trigger your demons for growth, you're going to look for those traits and qualities in another man, hoping to find a man that's a little less opinionated, a man that is not as strong-minded about whatever he's saying. You're not going to find the qualities of me in a man built like that. You're not going to find the qualities of me being 5'9" and no 6'3" dude. He doesn't have to develop his mind like I do. He's not going to stimulate your mind like I do through his words. He doesn't have to. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. So while you're doing this, building a super Negro in your head, this Giga Chad in your head from different traits of different men you find attractive, I want you to understand how psycho this is. I want you to understand that God doesn't work that way. This is why men work off that 80-20. Some niggas work off that 70-30. As long as you have most of what I want, I know that there's going to be things about you that I'm probably not going to too much care for or aren't completely in alignment with what I want, right? Like you might be a great woman, you might be funny, witty, have movement, and have a nice rack, but your booty might not be the biggest, the most bubble that I've ever had or would like to have. But if you're such a great woman, that don't mean nothing to me. I'll work with that ass. I'll work with that ass. Right? So, but with a woman, that can't be so. It can be a great guy with everything she wants, but if he is not 5'11", basically lie and say that he's 6 foot and up, she might think that she deserves better. She might think that she can get a man that has 100% of exactly what she's looking for. And as she ages out looking for this, she will never find it. But as long as she can hope and wish for this Superman that she's never found, she still feels like she's above you. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you said 1 to 2 hour live stream reaction videos, dude. And they're sitting there on the reaction videos studying the men while they're reacting to them. Right? And they know we're doing the same thing with them, but we study women differently. We understand that women are emotional. You know, we understand that they go through the period. We allow them to have a little bit of leeway to certain things, but we just don't approach them like that. These women are mad that they don't have a man, that their eggs are drying up, that they're getting closer and closer to 35, and the kind of guys that they would want to trick into being their retirement plans, they can't get it no more. They were living it up, bro. I even fell for it, dude. Well, I mean, not really, because my ex was 22. She just turned 22 when I got to her. But obviously, she was doing a lot of living before I met her. Okay, doing a lot of living before I met her. And the goal is for you not to be red pilled enough to look for the right signs to avoid these women. If I would have known, and I know you hear it a lot, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have dumped my ex right after she got done helping me get custody of my son. And you can be like, oh, that's cold. Nah, she had no more use after that. I done um my AAR after action review. And after that, I could have done without her. You know what I'm saying? I ain't need her no more. You know what I'm saying? And if I would have had the red pill knowledge to have been observing certain things that I wasn't, and if I'd been going through her phone, I never went through her phone. I could have just done it one time just to see how she was going to react about it. See if she get nervous and worried, right? I should have, if I'd have known what I know now, wouldn't have had that problem. And that's what they can't stand. They can't fool you. They can't be this intellectual chameleon. They can't be this homebody chameleon. They can't chameleonaire their way. I start calling them that. I don't care if it's a rapper name. They can't chameleonaire. These are chameleonaires. You know what I'm saying? They're chameleons trying to catch a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? And these women are rich, and wealthy and disguising themselves and coming across as another person with the mask. They wear mask on top of mask on top of mask. You know, they're narcissists, so they hide their personality. Then they wear makeup and they contour. Then on top of that, eyelashes and wigs. You know, lipstick, Botox, lip and man, listen, these are chameleonaires. They're just trying to fool you into thinking that they're worth your time. They're worth your last name after they've had a long time having a good time, you know what I'm saying, rolling around in the bed with Chad and Tyrone. And they used to be able to fool you because if they don't date a man from their town, like me, I was out of towner, didn't know nobody in their town. They're able to get away with everything. You don't know, you can't go and ask nobody nothing. Nobody you know knows this woman. She gets a clean slate. But anyway, man, you guys, my fast is over. I done my 16 hours. My stomach is growling like crazy. I'm gonna get some water before I work out. I appreciate y'all joining me. It's out there in that hot sun, no food, feeling a little bit weak. So I'm gonna go drink some water, break my fast with this water. Obviously, pray over it first, break my fast, and then do my cardio. Well, I did my walking cardio, but now do my elevated heart rate cardio, and then I will be getting on TikTok and lifting some weights. But I just had to get on here. Normally, I don't go live on Saturdays, but I'm feeling so good here lately. I'm feeling too good not to do this. So, I'll be going live more often, giving my perspective, my opinion, my way of thinking. Right. And I'm not doing it to scare anybody. I'm just doing it to let y'all know, as much as y'all have thoughts and study other people, I have thoughts and I study you too. And we can both get online and we can both give our perspectives, towards, other archetypes of people we don't like. And we can let the people decide which one has a better ideology, which one articulates themselves the best, which one comes off the most authentic. I ain't got no problem. I'll take on any challengers. None of y'all, I feel like, are, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to speak like a woman and how these sensitive men speak. I know that none of y'all can verbally whoop my ass. You don't have better words than me. You're not more eloquent than me. You can't articulate better than me. You might use bigger words than I do, but that's not a sign of intelligence. A real intelligent person can speak in common folk, everyday language, get their point across to every single person sitting in the room without sounding or feeling stupid. If you have to use big words to get your point across that everybody in the room might not understand because you've went through the dictionary and looked up a couple bro, please don't do that to yourself. Saying big words does not mean you are intelligent or smart. It doesn't make you seem smart or intelligent to an intelligent person. Being able to speak your thoughts fluently, finding the words needed to articulate yourself, and for your message to be able to be received by the masses definitely seems like more of an intelligent person to me. You know how celebrities play dumb? They play dumb, right? Because they know that they need to speak in a way and come off in a way to where people don't get threatened by their intelligence. So they may act kind of silly, and when they normally speak to regular people or speak on panels or podcasts or whatever, they speak in layman's terms, man. They don't use a lot of big words normally. But if you're a smart person, you know a genius when you see one, right? You know a smart person when you see one. So, I'm just giving y'all a little bit of a wisdom from someone that's well cultured, been to Iraq a couple times, served his country without being forced to do so, and then turned around and worked at the highest level of the government, got out of the government, and then worked for the government at the highest level as a civilian, got married, and then survived, a horrible divorce. Right? So there's years of experience behind everything that I say. And it's not just some guy that's smart. That's just this is wisdom. This is life that I'm speaking to you guys about. You know what I mean? My life and everything I'm going through in it. Not something I learned in a book. So remember that. But again, guys, smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. It's gotten too hot, and I'm a little bit too dehydrated, man. I ain't drank nothing since I got up, so you get up and handle my business. Go ahead and share the live stream, you guys. I'm going to repost these up in the clips. Part of it will be live streams, and the other part will be pre-records. Just, I'll put some dope thumbnails and titles on it. Support the videos. I might not show my face in it, but in this video, but I normally do. So you guys support the message is all that really should matter. Because again, I'm not trying to hide nothing. I show my face on a regular basis. I was just out there running, sweating, and I'm not going to get online looking any old kind of way. If you go run hard, you know what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing cute about you after you get done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to even do that. But The next video I make, I will be going live and I will be showing my face. So support your boy. Hit that like button. Have I gone 3 hours before? I don't hardly ever go live 3 hours. I ain't gonna lie to you. This faceless thing, man, bro, if I really was built like, you can't beat them, join them, man. Fuck it. I'm gonna do this faceless thing a lot more. Can't beat them, join them. Are you crazy? You think I'm gonna sit here and have people getting just as many views as I do and all the work I do for my videos, making sure my beard's lined up, taking care of, man, please. I'll be doing a lot of this faceless stuff more. Because a lot of people like listen to my message, not just look at my face, and I ain't hiding nothing. So this way I can put out more content. If I don't go faceless, if I go faceless, then I can make content even when I'm not really, prepared to go live, as far as having, a beard lined up, or, my normal YouTube outfits, right? Because I got YouTube outfits, I got lounge outfits, and I got my go out, you know what I'm saying? When I'm out there trying to get some women outfits. So, I'm in my fitness outfit right now. I ain't gonna go live with that. But again, you guys support the growth. I'm also going to try to find some time to work out. I'm bringing that back into this. If you guys don't know, I started off as a fitness channel. So I'm going to get back into that in hopes to motivate you guys and to also do things that most of these people that copy me, they will not do. Right? You got to have your own way of standing out. And I love to work out, and a lot of these people hate it. And they're not going to be able to keep up with me. You have to work on being so authentically you and unique that it don't even matter who's copying you, mimicking you, hating on you. Like, you're him. So everybody's gonna know, oh, that's King David. That's the wolf over there. You know what I mean? Whether they like you or not, bro. It is what it is. I hear a lot of people all of a sudden talking about big bad wolf and wolf in sheep's clothing. It doesn't matter if people tell you that they're watching you. It's going to slip out in what they say that they are watching you. If they're watching you a lot, it's going to slip out in some type of way. It's going to manifest itself in some type of way. And that's all that I'm looking for. I'm looking for patterns and signs. And I don't care what y'all be saying. If I hear one of my ad libs or something that kind of, I'm like, I'm not gonna let you with that. I think your ass is watching me. And then I study you a little bit. But yeah, I'm out of here. Share the live stream, you guys. We'll be back on here later on. Love and light. I'm your brother, and I'm out.
In this game, you gotta have that dog in you.
Made in America.